Okay, I am live now, and give me a minute so I can set up. I told the Discord crew that I'm online. I see we have a couple of people who liked the video, and we have a special guest today, which is Tablet Kitten, so we're just waiting for her to get online, and I even have a little bit of material prepared. We'll do a bit of news and updates. Let me just get, though, to where this content is. And why don't I hear my music playing? We'll solve that problem. Where is the music? Okay. Let me... Okay, here we go. Okay. Oops, we have, there, Tablet Kitten is joining. Okay, Tablet Kitten, can you hear me? Let's see. How do I add? Shoot. Hang on a second. Let me go, it's got this green room feature, so I have to figure out how to add someone from the green room into the stream. So let's just see if I can. Hey, Martin Nizio. Hey, Crazy DJ 97. Let's see if I can assign to guest 1. And I'm going to try something. It gets a little confusing with the setup because it's new to me as well. Let's see if we can get both of us here. And let's go ahead and add a lift.
Oh, hey, is this working?
I can hear you, and I think... Can you say something again?
Hello, hello, hello?
I think they can hear you too. Can people in chat just let us know if you can hear Tablet Kitten's voice as well?
Gonna get the audio slightly set up a bit better.
I'm just waiting for anyone in chat to. Okay, Crazy DJ 97 says the audio is working good. Excellent.
Nice.
And so let me tell everyone, and I'll elaborate also for Tablet Kitten. The last time Tablet Kitten and I streamed together, we were actually on our Discord call. Thank you, Salem, and thank you, Nizio. And so what I was doing was I had a Discord call open, and I was sharing my computer's audio. And that itself was just kind of weird to deal with. You know, we were actually in another app, and then on top of it, I'm streaming. So this time I decided to make use of the interview feature of the software I'm actually in, right? Which is, or using for streaming, which is Ecamm Live. So this is the first time we've done it. Now the reason is it should be simpler for me and Tablet Kitten to interact with you. The audio should work better, and it'll be easier for both of us to share content, right?
Yep. I think so, yeah. Hopefully.
So we'll try it out, and we can figure it out. And in the worst case, if something just completely doesn't work, we'll just go back to using a Discord call, because we know how that works, okay? Now, I'm going to figure out why that music doesn't start. Let me figure out why. Everyone's seeing like this black background with both our faces, and I am just trying to figure out why we are not seeing We're not seeing my normal background. That's the question. So give me a second.
That's just using new software, I'm guessing.
That's just using new software.
Yep.
And
I mean,
I'm going to try
it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm supposed to be able to control everything. In fact, I'm going to try just adding a rectangle. See, I can add a rectangle. Everyone can see a rectangle floating around now in front of us. And what I'm going to do is remove this rectangle. So this is good enough for now. Let's try one more thing before we really get started, Talbot Kitten. I'm going to move to a scene which is where you can share, okay? Like it's more obvious that you can share. So I'm going to switch over there. Okay, now in your UI, and everyone's just seeing 2 black rectangles right now, you should have a way for you to share your screen somehow, or share a window or something. Can you just try it out?
Yeah, hold on. That should... Let's see if this is going to work. It should be sharing on my end.
Okay, I made it set up something on my end, so just hang on. Oh, I see. I think I got it. Cam link. Okay, I can see a hello.
Hello.
Fantastic. And just let me see if I can get you as a... so Ecamm does not have a simple way. Like if you're not literally on video, it doesn't have like a placeholder image. So I'm going to try to add a placeholder image so everyone knows it's you is there, that you are there. Give me a second. I'm going to go back to when we're both on screen. Okay, and then I'm going to take your PFP, and I'm going to copy it. I really was so excited to do this because I want to do an interview, right? A real interview. And this is sort of lets me do kind of a dry run. There we go. Okay. So I put a little cropped version of your PFP in here.
That's actually my Osu art.
Your Osu art.
Yeah, I entered that into a competition. That's just a crop.
And it appeared somewhere officially in Osu, right?
No. It's gonna get a few votes probably, and I don't know if it's gonna get into the game, but yeah, it's currently in voting phase.
Is there some place we can see it and so we can vote?
It's just on the Osu website somewhere.
Okay, I'll check.
Down in the competition like stuff.
Got it.
Don't worry too much about it.
Okay. Now I wanted to, sorry, I'm trying to find the my deck, which is my agenda deck, right? And then let's just put everything in the agenda. And I have a few news and updates. Let me get to my screen. Okay, everyone can see. So as everyone who's just joining us knows, Talbot Kitten is our special guest. So we had a really fun discussion, and we're going to touch on some interesting topics. I do have some things to share with you before we get to the real updates, the real discussion, though. First, a few videos I wanted to talk about. So, let's see. Okay, at least I think this is working. Brad Colbo has just today, I think this morning, we have a video from him on the Cintiq 16, the new version that Wacom launched. So I'd recommend people watch that. I think he's very positive on this tablet, and I expect to be as well. And I'll talk a little bit more about it in a minute. Also, Tio published a video. Brad's videos was today, and so was Tio's. They're both today. And this is on the XP Pen Artist Pro 15.6 V2. What a name. Now, just to help understand, there's an XP Pen Artist Pro 15.6, like the old version, the V1, if you want to call it, which I've never used. And it looks like what they've done is they've just improved, they've added the new X3 Pro pen to this. So definitely watch his videos. I'm not going to get this tablet, but just see, the question I would have is, does the pen work as expected? given the older hardware. Now, we don't know if they upgraded the digitizers or not. I assume they did something, but again, I'm not planning on getting this tablet, so I just wanted to make sure you knew. You should check out the video if you're interested in this one. So next we have, Huion has a sale going on, and I wanted to go through the Huion site and just give you a few thoughts about what you might want to look at and what you might want to stay away from. Because what happens with these sales is there's a whole bunch of models that have similar names that are on sale. So we should just be clear on what those are. Let's go there real quick. And let me stop this sharing. Okay. Let's see, Huion.com. We'll just take a quick look. Hey, Edbot is here. Hello, Edbot. Kanto's here. Nice to see you. Yeah, like the old Windows laptop size Kanto. Okay, where were we? We had a sale somewhere here. Where was the sale message? Am I just crazy? Where was it? Maybe I should go to the store. Maybe it'll be there in the store. Yeah, here we go. So, okay, here's everyone can see it, I hope. So I'm going to keep it simple for you, right? Simple means opinionated. Tablet Kitten, please share your opinion as well. First thing you should know, sale ends in 4 days. Okay? So if you're going to buy something, you don't have a huge amount of time. Let's just get the bad news out of the way. Hey, Charlie Martian. Good to see you. Good to see you. Greetings, fellow Earthlings.
What's
the bad news is the Canvas Slate is not any good.
Oh, well, that's to be expected.
Right? Lots of reasons for this, but I think Brad put it the best, or Garcia Arts, that channel, put it the best. This just seems like a random Android tablet that Huion has branded as Huion. They're not using their normal pen. Nothing special about it here, and the drawing experience isn't great. I mean, Brad was like, I think he just came right out and said it wasn't a good tablet. Other people have said the same thing. So, look, I know it's very tempting. You see these tablets here for $300, $400, or $220 in the case of the Slate 10. I would not advise that you get it. Let me just be honest with you. If you want this kind of device, get a Samsung Galaxy Tab S6 Lite at the low end, or an S9 FE at the slightly higher end. That would be a better choice for the vast majority of you. Clearly, sorry, not even for the vast majority. It would be a better choice for everybody than these tablets. Okay?
Yep. I mean, even the what was it? The XP Pen, Magic Drawing Pads and Magic Notepad would be a better
That's right.
Would be better for basically everyone. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. So I wish Huion had not released these because, I think it damages the brand, right? They had such a great year with their Canvas Pro 19 and 27 models. This, and their new PW600 series pen. This is just really doesn't get not a good imaging. Okay, so next up we have 2 tablets I'd recommend and 1 I'll talk about it. Okay, the 2 are the Canvas 13 Gen 3 and the Canvas 16 Gen 3. I recommend both those tablets. Okay, why? The screens have improved. The new pen, they got the dials and the buttons. The only negative with these 2 tablets, these 2 Gen 3 tablets, are some people are reporting that after a few months there are problems with the dials. Now, I have not experienced it, but some people mentioned that. I don't think it's everybody. I just think there are some people. Now, remember, these models are, I think, especially the 13 is quite popular. So you should never go to Reddit and if you see someone complain, think that everyone's having the problem, because only people with problems go on the subreddit and talk about it, okay? So do I think it's unusual? No, but it's something to watch out for. I will certainly keep my eyes are out for this to see how often it's happening. Again, I have both these tablets. Has not happened to me. I still recommend the tablet, okay? So I just want to make sure you know what's going on. Hey, Ben Boykmas has joined us as well. On the way to work. Oh, that's very nice. Yeah, Edbot, you're right. If XP Pen could do it with their pen, why couldn't Huion? I don't know. It seems very weird because you're right. The Huion PW600 pen right now it's right after the Wacom pens, the Pro pens, right? Okay, Canvas 22 series. This is a little bit of a older tablet. Okay, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's got some quirks. Like for example, I noticed in the unit I had more noticeable, what do you call it? At the last 2 millimeters or so at the edge of the screen, there was a little bit more displacement of the pen than you'd expect for a modern pen tablet. The other thing is, no matter how you connect this tablet, you have to use a 3-in-1 cable, which is irritating and awkward, right? Number 3, it comes with the PW517 pen. Now you can use the PW550 pen, which seems to be a better pen, but those are some limitations. So it's not bad. If you're looking for a 22-inch tablet, I think there are better options for you, right? But I have one of these. I have the 22 Plus, and it was fine, but I just think it's a little out of date these days, okay?
I do have some stuff to say about Pentec 3, so like the PW517, possibly the PW110, and also the 550s. There's a few issues, mainly I think just with consistency. Most of the pens will like have a lot of variance between like the max pressures, right? PW517 can like have some really odd outliers here and there. And then with the PW550s, I don't know if it's a good idea to group the 550 and the 550S together, but I do it anyway because, in my opinion, they're kind of just the same pen.
Yes.
When you do look at all the pressure data, it's actually really inconsistent. It is something to keep note of, but, really it's just kind of the pen lucky dip. You want to get one with like the really high max pressures, but then sometimes, if you're unlucky, you can get one with like really bad max pressure.
Yeah.
With these ones.
So in your testing, you found, just like I did, a lot of variance with the Pentec 3.0.
Yeah. It's just looking at your data and some other people's experiences.
Okay.
I know Koyo did a bit of testing with his.
Oh, that's right. That's probably what I'm thinking of. I need to take a look at, because I think he actually got better results than I did.
Yeah, a lot better results.
Right, which is a mystery, and I think his theory was that there may have been a second generation of PW517 pens, which is interesting.
Looks to be the case, yeah.
I could believe it, because the PW517 pens I have, I purchased in a certain set of years, right? Like I didn't purchase any of them in 2024, right? So it can be that something has changed in the manufacturing sense.
Yeah, likely it could be something like a supplier change or whatever,
Yes.
or like just a small little tweak to it. We'll just have to take apart the pens to see if there's like any like revisions or anything.
Yes.
On like that's printed on the board or like the PCB or not. But it depends if you want to destroy a pen.
At this point, I have a lot of P517s, but I need to get one that's definitely a new one. That's the catch.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we have the older ones, these Canvas 13, Canvas 12. I'll treat them together. Again, nothing wrong with them, just the pen is kind of, as we were just talking about, a little inconsistent, right? These aren't bad. I would say the Canvas 13 has a little more anti-glare sparkle than you'd expect out of a modern pen display. Canvas 12 I haven't tried, but I'd expect about the same behavior. Canvas Pro 13, again, it's just part of that same generation, right? And there's nothing really wrong with these, but I think you'll be better off getting one of the Gen 3 models, right? Now, for the Pros, this again, we've got multiple models mixed up together, okay? So let's keep it simple. Canvas Pro 19, easy winner. Canvas Pro 27, easy winner. The middle one, the Canvas Pro 24, big discount here, but it's part of that previous generation. There's nothing wrong with it. I have one. If you're going to get it, get a PW 550 pen to go with it. you'll see a little bit more anti-glare sparkle as well. What I'm hoping is we will see a new Pentec 4.0 version of this soon-ish, right? And then anything else here to call out? Okay. Yeah, I think my same comments about the Canvas 24 Pro apply to these two on the left, the Canvas 24 series and the Canvas Pro 16. The Pro 16 4K, by the way, has the most anti-glare sparkle I've ever seen in a tablet. So some people said they haven't seen it as much, but I definitely noticed it. And so that was a big warning for me. And what about the Canvas Studio 16 and 24?
I don't really know about those that well. It's just like it really is just a like mobile studio really. It gets outdated pretty quickly regardless.
That's right. And so if you take a look at both of these, there's nothing on paper wrong with them. They do use the older pen, which is the first strike, right? Let me double check that actually. I'm gonna click on the Studio 16.
Yeah, they do.
Pentec 3.0, right? So it probably comes with the PW550, I would guess.
550S.
Okay, which is good. I mean, that's better than the 517. But, so let me clarify my position here. It doesn't matter that this is Huion or Wacom or XP Pen. I don't think you should get this type of tablet because, as Tablet Kitten just pointed out, they go out of date pretty fast. They're usually not very expandable. Repairs are very expensive. In my opinion, if you want to like have something like this, I wouldn't even buy a Wacom. I definitely wouldn't buy a Wacom Mobile Studio Pro. And I get it, some people love them, but if you go on Reddit and you'll see what happens when they had to get it fixed or serviced, the costs were astronomical, okay? In some cases, you're gonna have to ship the tablet back, and that itself will take time and cost, right? I think, and this is my position now forever, if you want this kind of thing, either get a Samsung Galaxy Tab S series or an iPad, which of course aren't going to be as big as these two, or get a Canvas Pro 19 and get a small mini PC or something, right? Or a MacBook. That would be a better way of letting you get the same benefits without having to deal with the same problems, right? Limitations. Okay, so I think that covers the sale that I wanted to talk about, because those are the ones that are the most confusing, are these pen tablets, right? Or pen displays.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, let me get back to my deck here. And
I'll be gone for around 5 minutes. That's okay?
Okay.
Yeah, I have some stuff I have to do, just for a little while.
And let me take at the chat just to make sure. Konto says, okay, you had a better experience with the PW550S. That's great to hear. Generally, actually everyone who has talked to me about it has said they noticed that their PW550 was better, right? That's why I need to talk to Koyo about the experience he had with these. He had some good 517s, so I got to figure that one out. Let's see. Charlie Martian. I find that my Huion pens seem to creak. You know what? I'll take a look, Charlie Martian, at mine. I can't recall them making creaking sounds, but I'll double check. It's possible. I know some pens do. I just can't remember if it was Huion or somebody else. But I have definitely seen things like that. And then Voidouts, your question was, what are these crowns? I think you're referring maybe to, was it on the sales site? On the Huion sales site. Let's bring it up. Okay, maybe I'm not knowing what you're referring to, so let me know, Voidouts. Konto says, I'm considering a MacBook on either the new Cintiq or Canvas Pro 19 for my X upgrade. Yeah, hey, right now MacBooks are doing great, right? And I'm super happy with mine. You know, I've had my MacBook Pro for about a year and a half or something. I've never heard the fan spit up. Now, admittedly, I'm not like exporting video and things like that, but like it has been dead silent. I've never even felt it at anything other than room temperature. So I think it says a lot. Charlie Martian. I'm using the RDS 220 and the pen is a PW517. Tablet is great every day, but okay, so I'll check my PW517s then. Elsevier says to remove the creak, you need to really clean it hard with the semi-wet cloth. We'll see. We'll see. I'll test it out. Yeah, and Kanto, the MacBook Air models, yeah, they're actually also quite powerful. I mean, you don't necessarily think of that when you hear the word Air, but they are also quite powerful. Let's see. I think Elsevier says a thin layer of oils or something creates that sound. So you're saying something on the outside of the pen? Or you're saying something like on the nib inside? I'm just curious if you could clarify. Okay, let me get back to the PowerPoint. And how do I show this to everybody? Okay, so the last stream, Nizio/Martin asked me to test something with the X3 roller pen. And actually, let me just write that down. It's the X3 Pro roller. So, because he was having problems with the roller on his Mac OS, I did test it out on my MacBook and it worked fine. So, I think we're still trying to figure out why he's having this problem with his pen. It's because the pen does work, because he can test it with a Windows machine. It does work. So, maybe a driver problem. It's a little unclear. Could also be a permissions problem, maybe, Nizio/Martin.
Woohoo, I'm back.
You're back? Oh, that's quick. Okay.
Yeah.
We were just talking about the X3 Pro roller pen. And
cool.
Martin wanted me to test it with the Mac OS, so I just said, I confirmed that I did find it, and I did test it.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, the roller pen was interesting. Like, it started off, came around, and then, you had the firmware update some older tablets, right?
Yeah.
Like the Gen 2s that already were out in the wild. So people thought, hey, why is this roller not working? And they thought it was defective. Like, I know some people on Reddit, saw some posts.
So you saw multiple people mention it?
Yeah. The actual launch was really bad of the roller. But newer versions of the firmware were just fine. So it was just a one-off, I guess, with existing tablets that were out in the wild.
Got it. Okay, next. So I mentioned Brad had his review of the Cintiq 16, the new version. So I did order it a few days ago, and it is on its way. Hopefully, within the next 7 days, it'll be at my home, and we'll do a live stream, of course, and just try it out. And in the meanwhile, I'll be just prepping up my materials to make a recorded video about the 24-inch model, which again I love. In fact, it's you can't see it, but it's sitting right in front of me. Let's see, then. Oh, yeah. So I mentioned last time that I'm publishing all my pen pressure data to GitHub. Just wanted to inform you that, everything's up there. And I've updated the IDs to make it more consistent. I've moved the files around a little bit. If people need me to explain the schema, let me know. I thought it was a little bit too technical for the stream. But I'll also start adding that stuff to the README, right? And, I have a new arrival of his tablet today. And if you want, once we get our discussion with Tablet Kitten out of the way, we can actually do a live stream unboxing if you want in this stream, or I can do it with another stream. But just a few things about the new tablet. It's let me move my face here so you can see the text. This is the Xencelabs Pen Tablet Medium. So there's two things about it. It says SE Special Edition and V2. So what's important here is actually not the SE, it's the V2. The V2 means it's using the new pens. Now, I don't know if the digitizer's changed, but in any case, I wanted to test the pens, so I decided to get this tablet. Wasn't it wasn't cheap. It's pretty expensive, just like a Wacom tablet, $330. But again, the V2 is what's important, not the special edition. The special edition is really the fact that this has a different color, so it's white. Now, I've been mentioning this all the time that I'd like more variety in the colors of tablets. So, pretty happy to try this out. I think it's going to look quite nice. And I have the box nearby, so again, we can do it in this stream, and I can try it out. Oh, one more thing. The V2 pens are only compatible with the V2 tablets. So you can't use this if you have the original Xencelabs tablet. Okay. And let's see if there's any... Charlie Martian has a chat. He's talking about the creaking, I think, of the pens. Actually, pen...
That looks to be pretty normal, I think.
Which one, the micro scratches?
Yeah. Because, you know, when you... Like, as an OSU player, I guess, myself, my entire tablet is, like, filled with a load of scratches, and also, like, it's just smooth, right? It just happens. I think, sometimes, you know, some bit of grime or, like, dirt or something goes underneath the pen nib, and then that can cause, like, a scratch.
Okay. A couple of
if
things
you don't notice...
pop. Yeah, if you don't notice, you don't. It's never happened.
Yeah, you don't notice. It's all good. It doesn't really matter, right? As long as you can't feel it when you're like drawing, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So there's a couple of thoughts though about this. Number one is, not everyone gets scratches. Okay, let's separate two things out. There's pen tablets and pen displays. Okay, and Charlie Martian is talking about a pen display. Let's start with pen displays, right? And the first is, some people definitely scratch up their pen display, and some people don't. And I still haven't been able to sort out exactly why some people see the effect and some people don't, okay? Now, we should just talk about what causes the scratches, okay? So, if you have a pen display with a plastic film on it, like the anti-glitter film, those scratch, right? They're known to scratch, so that's common. That's to be expected. For an etched glass pen display, those are harder to scratch, but some people still do it. And there have been some theories about why that happens, because the glass shouldn't be easily scratched at all. And I think one of the theories is if you're in an environment where there's small, really hard particulate matter, like metal, like little tiny microscopic pieces of metal, that your nib can rub that into the glass, and that causes scratches. Now, I've never been in such an environment. I don't get these kinds of scratches. So it's still, I think, an open area of research about what's causing it, right?
I can sort of say otherwise. If you look at like phones getting micro scratches and all that, when like they're in your pocket or, you know, you're out in like the environment, it does make a lot more sense. It's very likely just because of some small particles. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the question is, what can we do? I mean, what can we do to minimize it then, maybe, right? Like cleaning the nib, cleaning the glass.
Not exactly sure, because when you do clean, those particles can still go underneath the cloth and then still scratch it up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So like it's a bit...
Yeah. Maybe another technique then is to clean it with like a microfiber duster, so that it's very gently moving particulate matter away, and then use a cloth. Right.
Yeah.
The problem is, like, it's very hard to test this, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's just very hard. Elsevier says that depends. X-Glass is harder to get if you use a glove and clean it. Hand oils or the one that helps getting scratches. Almost 2 years with it. So 2 years with the 16-inch XP pen and no scratches. So that experience is what I get. I don't get scratches on my glass, right? Now, pen tablets are different. They will scratch because they're made of plastic, which is soft, right? But Charlie says there's no metal that he's using, right? Charlie, I don't feel like felt tips are a cause of it, and I'll tell you why. Like, the felt tips, well, first of all, they're not felt. They're just another plastic, right?
Yep, microplastics.
They're microplastics, yeah. And the one thing people have thought is, when you're going back and forth, your nib can develop an edge. Some people have thought that edge can scratch the tablet, like it creates almost like a knife edge. I personally have tested it out. I wasn't able to really scratch a tablet with an edge from the nib, so I'm not sure if that's sorry. I believe it could be a cause. I just was unable to reproduce the effect, right? And I was trying to scratch it. Right? Let's see. It says hand oils are the worst for surfaces. Touchscreen scratch. Okay, I think you point out why they don't let you touch in a museum.
Hand oils, they just like, it depends also on your sweat as well. If you've seen like MacBooks or like Apple devices just straight up getting pitting corrosion because of like acidic hand sweat, like it's really bad.
Really?
I'm not too sure about hand oils though, because like hand oils can like penetrate into some things, and it does get grimy and all that, like rubber and all that can happen. But then I think sweat's a bigger issue, especially if you got like metallic stuff.
Yeah,
because it'll just oxidize and everything.
I've never experienced any kind of pitting, so in fact, this is the first time I've heard about it.
Oh yeah, so pitting corrosion on MacBooks. It's been a known issue for a little while because of the aluminium they use.
Interesting. So it's on the glass. It's the surface of the.
Yeah, on the aluminium. Yeah. It happened to an iPad of mine as well, like a long time ago. Because my sweat is like slightly acidic.
Got it.
It's
and everyone's will vary a little bit.
Everyone's going to vary a little bit. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Let's see. I have some photos of the tablet. I mean, in the box, but let me skip over those. Okay, I think I covered my news and updates. So, Tablet Kitten. I think you wanted to share some things with us.
Yes. Quite a lot of the Chinese stuff, actually.
You want me to share your your screen?
Cool.
Okay, there we go.
Sure.
There you go.
I don't exactly have Chinese input just sitting around on my computer because I just newly installed Fedora this morning again because my last install broke. But yeah, China's been getting quite a lot of like new tablet content. I'm signed out on Bilibili right now. I don't exactly want all this going on my account. But yeah, lots of new stuff. And also a lot of new videos lately as well. And as of lately, you'd get a lot of like early looks at like tablets. Like if you see this guy here, you'd have like literally like nearly a month ago, so like 20 days ago, on the 12th of June, right? This guy got his hands on a DTA 168. Well, to be fair, he was at the Wacom headquarters. Actually, why is he in the Wacom headquarters?
So when was this video?
Like nearly a month ago, June 11th.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so they got their hands on the stuff so early.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, this guy made a full review basically. And yeah, pretty cool, honestly. Even did like an entire drawing like demo as well.
Nice.
In Paintal Sai. Yeah. Yeah, pretty cool, honestly. And one other, like a few other cool things. Wacom has their own like official account on Bilibili as well. Ah, yes, the captures. We love captures. Oh no. Hold on. Let me do this. So Wacom has their own thingo. And they post quite a lot of interesting stuff as well, including like special artworks and everything, and also like Wacom Cafe, Cafe de Wacom.
And this is
Yeah,
stuff they never post on their normal
never,
YouTube
absolutely never.
They seem much more
They even got-
active here.
Yeah,
and
they
much
even got
more
the
engaged.
Chinese New Year stuff. No, not really Chinese New Year. This is just normal New Year, not Chinese
Okay.
New Year. Yeah, what other stuff?
That's so interesting
know-
that they post this.
Yeah, I know most of the stuff they have on here, but like, may as
Yeah.
well check it out. They even got youth stuff, like this.
What is it we're seeing here? It's just like a
Like targeting to like youths.
got it. So it's an
Like
ad
students.
for you. Okay.
Yeah, they're all ads really. Wacom has some like special student versions of tablets you'll find in China.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Like
one
they
of my
look
friends
different.
they come with like extra accessories.
Got
The
it.
one my friend had, which was the one by Wacom, the CTL 671, not the 672, student edition from China. Yeah. That thing just came with like the colorful nibs and everything. I remember sending a picture of it somewhere in the Discord server.
So what's different about how? Obviously, I know what tablet YouTube is like, right? Now that I'm a part of it.
Yeah.
And, if I had to summarize, there are people like Brad and Tio who review lots of things, actually, right?
Yep.
Not restricted to drawing tablets, but definitely like, I don't know, let's just say at least a third of what they talk about is drawing tablets, something like that. And they're actually artists themselves as well. Tio is often, in fact, showing us drawing.
Yeah,
a
Tio and
sketchbook.
Brad are both artists.
And so that's one set. We have in Spain Garcia Art, which is another great channel, and then there's Aaron Rutten's in that same collection, and then we have a whole bunch of people who occasionally talk about drawing tablets, but who are also artists, right? Like Adam Duff and Boro CG. And then it's a whole bunch of people who I don't personally know who make videos. By and large, they do seem sponsored, right?
Yeah.
But I think the real core is like the Brad, the Tio, that
Yeah,
set of
yeah.
people.
Definitely. Aaron Rutten is he's kind of falling off.
He doesn't seem to be publishing as often, does he?
Yeah, he's being less active, and also like no one's really watching his videos either.
That's right. I think I've noticed that, and which is weird because he was so busy making videos,
Yeah.
right?
Although to
I
be
know-
fair,
Yeah.
I always thought of him as a Wacom shill rather than like an actual reviewer.
Is that
No.
because he at one point? I think he had some very maybe sharp things to say about third-party
Yeah.
non-Wacom brands, right?
Non-Wacom brands, and also the fact that every single time his top 10 drawing tablet videos are all Wacom for some unknown reason. Some quote unknown reason.
But I mean, to be fair,
Yeah.
Wacom does lead the market.
They
Right.
do lead the market, but then also with his Wacom 1 reviews, he just doesn't mention all the flaws, right?
You're talking about the new Wacom ones with the
Yeah,
the
crappy one,
I think
2023.
yeah. This is one of the reasons it's not related to Aaron, but one of the reasons I try to measure so many things is that I felt like certain topics weren't getting covered, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And it wasn't like people are ignoring things. I don't think people knew to talk about some of these topics, right? Like, I don't think
Definitely.
I heard the phrase tilt compensation until I think it was you actually, who said that phrase to me.
Tilt
Like I hadn't
compensation,
considered
yeah.
it, right?
Yeah, so I think Cube said something about it way before that. I think it was Cube, probably, not me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he talked about something with the tracking algorithm of the Wacom, like into OS Pros.
Yeah.
That was just like kind of different.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah, I don't know. I don't remember like 2 years ago, nearly 2 years ago.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But it's like
Yeah.
there's a whole bunch of things like that where, I made this meme, which is like my older PFP on the face of Alice in Wonderland as she's going through the rabbit hole, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what tablets are like, because every time I thought I understood something, there are 10 other issues that just get deeper and deeper to start evaluating.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And they, I have my site, which I write all my docs on, and it started as just kind of like, I don't know, maybe I had 30 pages. I think I've got like 500 now. Right?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Right, and it literally some are like lists of things, but like a lot of it's like really. I do believe I've essentially written a book at this point about drawing tablets, and I don't think. I think there's way more to even talk about.
Yeah, definitely.
Right?
Although with some very small things and like very niche things, there's not really much you can really say, honestly.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
Oh, someone has
because
a comment.
it's something that's really just not applicable to like 99% of users, right? Let's say something like hover smoothing, right? It's only really applicable to like a certain subset of Wacom tablets, and who's gonna really notice it? Well, obviously it's the OSU players, because Wacom's drivers themselves, right? They apply like hover smoothing to tablets which don't even have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like 99% of users just aren't even gonna bother about it. They won't even know, even.
It's true. It's true. There's, that's one of the dangers of getting, how can I say this? I think I've said it in a stream before, and I've wanted to say it, but it is very easy to start looking at things and start getting obsessed with tiny things that don't make a difference.
Yeah.
Right.
That's me when I started checking out like some pressure jitter like a while ago. But then I was like, this is not making a difference to how I draw, and I can't feel a difference at all anyway. So I just stopped caring at all.
Yeah. And there are other behaviors. I don't want to say problems, but behaviors which are. They're like they actually exist, right? But it falls under the category of, if you go looking for trouble, you'll find it.
Yeah, definitely. Like
right?
Every tablet's got its flaws, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So what are you really gonna do about it? Like my PTH 660, this thing, it's all around great, but then there's so much chatter when like it's out of near proximity, which makes sense. Then you have to like actually go into Open Tablet Driver, mess around with it, and all that it's like fixable, not a big deal. It fixes itself in the Wacom driver anyway, and then like it's such niche things that could be a problem, but really, are they a problem? No.
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah. I mean, there's tons of things like that, and that's one of the, sometimes I feel like even the content I create can make people paranoid, right?
Definitely, yeah.
About a tablet, and I think about how to be more careful about what I say, right? Because a great example is diagonal wobble. I'm always talking about diagonal wobble, and some are bad. Some tablets are bad. Don't get me wrong, but I also don't want people to feel like any amount of it is going to destroy your experience,
Yeah, because
right?
every single tablet's gonna have diagonal wobble. And like
Yeah,
every single tablet's also gonna have some kind of weird problem with pressure somewhere, right?
yeah,
Like the
yeah.
ProPen 2, it's got hover drawing, like possible like
Yes,
unpredictable hover drawing.
yes,
So you'll need to make like a click threshold like, somewhere in the
yes,
pressure range.
yes.
But like, like you can fix it and it doesn't really change anything. Like an open tablet driver, I just have to set the pen threshold, like the tip threshold, to just even 1, right?
Yeah,
And then it just fixes itself. Like it's not a big
yeah.
deal.
Hey, there's some comments coming through. Let's take a quick look.
Oh
I
yeah.
just want to make sure we capture some of this. Edbot has a comment. Oops, it's so tiny. Let me resize this up here. Oh, sorry.
Mm.
The mouse cursor is not. It's so crazy. Okay, hang on. Let me try that again. Sorry, Edbot. It's just something weird about the sizing of this thing.
Yeah.
Let's see
I
if
don't know.
that helps. Here.
That works. That works better.
There we go. Okay. I think Aaron is honest. I think he is honest.
Yeah.
And I also had very difficult experiences with Chinese tablets oops, it disappeared again. In early years. The newer ones seemed great, but the early ones were just awful. Yeah, hey, Edbot, you're totally right. I mean, look, I regularly tell, like, it's only since, my advice has generally been only the newer, let's say Huion and XP pen tablets from like 2021 later to buy. And right now, because of these newer models, I would be like, hey, just buy the very latest ones because they really have made significant improvements, right? And Bosto have had some weird things, like the cloth digitizer was a wild
Oh
one.
no, that's 10 Moons.
10 Moons,
Bosto,
sorry.
I don't even know that brand. I don't care
Yeah.
about it, and I've not seen many videos about it, even on Bilibili.
Yeah. And, I think if you're going to buy a tablet, unfortunately, you have to buy, you have to go with the tablet what other people are using. Because no one's been able to help you out if you buy a tablet that, has a very small user base, unless they are like really constructed to have good customer support. So Xencelabs is probably like that. They really focus on customer support. So I'm unfair to a lot of tablet brands, actually, because I do think you should get one that has a big user base. Let's see. Ukeru says, the only thing I ever used tablet-wide YouTube videos was to compare sizes because other channels just say, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, Ed, but I think you raise a good point. Aaron's comments there, I think, were in a certain year, right? Like, where I can totally understand he was probably thinking that the Chinese brands at that time, they definitely weren't as advanced as they are now, right? They've gotten their stuff really settled down since then.
Yeah. Like if you've used something like the Huion 420, right? Like the really, really old one that was like the Osu tablet as well with the battery pen.
Yes,
that thing was terrible. Like you could definitely feel like an insane amount of difference. When I first switched from that was actually my first tablet, the 420, right? The H420 actually.
Yeah.
I switched over to the Gaomon S620, massive upgrade, and then I switched over to the CTH 470, but not really for drawing. I still use the Gaomon for drawing because it was actually nicer. It felt nicer for some weird reason.
The Gaomon over the CTH?
Yeah, the CTH 470. Like, I used the CTH 470 for Osu and then the Gaomon for drawing because, like, the Gaomon just felt nicer to draw with for some reason.
Interesting.
Like, even though, on a technical level, it isn't as good, right? The pressure range was pretty bad. There was like smoothing, and the initial activation force was higher and everything. But it just felt nicer for some weird reason.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Which Gaomon was it? 620?
The S620.
S620. Interesting.
The one that everyone recommends for Osu if you don't have the budget for like a 1x Wacom.
Interesting. By the way, I actually got the CTH 470. It arrived a couple of days ago.
Oh, cool.
So I'm going to give it out.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, what is its actual name? It's like the Bamboo Connect or something.
No, Bamboo. Oh, Bamboo something.
It has a couple of names. It's definitely a Bamboo.
Yeah.
But the thing that makes it special, those of you who are very familiar with Wacom model numbers can tell, it's CTH 470. And the H means it supports touch. And this is an example of where Wacom, you'll see this. They'll try something out in their consumer line and then later put it in their pro line. So I believe, if I remember correctly, they added touch to the CTH 470. Did they do it before they did it in their pro line?
That was around the same time, actually.
Around the same time.
Yeah.
But then they pulled it now from the pro line also, which is weird.
Yeah, I don't know why. By the way, the actual model name, I guess, is the Bamboo Capture.
Bamboo Capture.
Yeah. They had so many different Bamboo names. I just stopped caring. Yeah. Like the model numbers were so much easier to deal with. Okay.
Yes. Charlie Martian has a comment. What is the preferred choice of tablet driver and settings software? Currently using Huion driver. Should I try? Well, I would say first of all, the only real option to the manufacturer driver, the Huion driver or the Wacom driver, whatever, is Open Tablet Driver. Open Tablet Driver supports 200 different tablets, and I use it. One of the laptops next to me actually has Open Tablet Driver installed. When I'm doing certain kinds of testing, I use it because I don't have to. It works with it works with 200 tablets. Now, to be sure, it doesn't work with every tablet, and it certainly works with far fewer pen displays than pen tablets.
Yeah. Even if your tablet isn't really supported by default, you can always ask in the Discord server, and someone will probably make a config for you.
Can you explain for the audience what that statement? They can make a config for you because they probably don't know the implication.
Yeah. So basically, Open Tablet Driver configs allow you to actually detect the tablet and actually use the tablet with Open Tablet Driver. So every tablet has its own config, and if it's not in the GitHub repo, the main repo, you'll probably need to create it either yourself or ask someone in the Discord server to actually create it for you. Got
it. So they don't necessarily need to create a new build of Open Tablet Driver.
Yeah.
To support. They might, but often they can create a config, right?
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, because they may not have the tablet you're talking about, they may need you to collect some information from some debug log or something, right?
Yep. Some diagnostic info and whatnot.
Oh, I think Cube is telling us something here. The first ones they added touch support are actually the series before with the CT 460 and the CTH 460. Okay, maybe I'll just go get that one. I'll look for eBay. I've been on a roll with eBay. Let me tell you that I've been funding eBay drawing tablets. That entire business right at this point. And Charlie Martian, just one more thing. I probably will be doing a stream or a video on Open Tablet Driver just so people can see it. So if you're interested in that, I might actually let me know. I can do a stream or video about it. Let's see, and then keeps us, and the CTT 460 That was the example of experimentation. Though it was a big failure, it was a pen tablet shape, but without pen support. Oh, what?
We don't talk about that thing.
First of all, I don't think in my head I ever remember the CTT designation. So this is wild.
Yeah, so it's touch only. CTT is touch only.
So it was a touchpad, effectively.
It was literally a trackpad. You can call it
Trackpad.
that. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. One interesting thing is on Linux, if you use like one of those touch enabled like tablets, like my 470, like it is actually a legitimately pretty good trackpad. Like it basically functions like a normal trackpad, like on a laptop. It's really good actually.
Interesting.
But that's with libinput. I'm not really sure if it works when you have OpenTablet driver. Nope, it doesn't work when you have OpenTablet driver installed.
Oh, look, Hera has joined us. Good to see you, Hera. Okay. Anything else you want to show about the Bilibili? Or any other thing you want to show?
Maybe a few things. Yeah.
Let me put you back on to projecting your screen.
Cool. So, yes, there is a new XP Pen Magic Drawing Pad. I know Aiku talked about it in one of his, I think his latest latest video.
This is the V2.
Yeah, this is the MD1220. I think that one's the model number. I don't completely remember the model number off by heart, but it's got FCC info, so it's got the FCC ID, so it should be releasing someday, like globally, but I have no idea at all, right? It's available in China, and it's not too expensive. It's like 3,000 Chinese yuan, which is like what, $400 or something in like American dollars.
And how big is this tablet?
12.2 inches.
Okay, that's relatively large size. Yeah.
Yeah, this is mostly an unboxing video, but like this one's got Android 14. It's got the cool boot animation as well.
You know, I tried out the Magic Notepad, right? I mean, I have it. I didn't just try it out, but and it was fine, but it wasn't anything special. I did like that it used, you could use the X3 Pro pens with it, but that was probably its only like distinctive thing. Other than that, like, the Samsung Tab S series would have been fine, right? So I don't know. I was maybe I was just expecting more from it. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't really know. But one thing is it does work with the other pens as well.
Yes, I tested that out.
Yeah.
I tested that out.
Yeah, so this one should do the same. If you can show it. Yeah.
I'm just waiting for some Android device. I mean,
Yeah.
I know XP
and
Pen
it's got
does it.
DPN.
It's got what? Oh, DPN.
DPN. So
You can use it like a monitor.
yeah, you can use it as a monitor. I think there's a better video than just this thing. There should be a much better video of it somewhere. Let me just see if I can find one. I think maybe this one. Nope. But yeah, some person showcased it somewhere, but I don't know where. But yeah, it does have DisplayPort in. You can actually use it as like a monitor, like as like a drawing tablet, like a display tablet for your computer. That stuff's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that. It's a good feature to have. Yeah, it should be expected.
That's basically apart from like the pen and also like pen compatibility.
Yeah.
and like a slightly newer processor, I think, and Android, and also like a newer Android version and DisplayPort, and I think that's like the only differences compared to the old one. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool, but I don't really see too much of a reason to care about it. Because you will get like massive bezels. Like it's gonna be more like a. Oh, I don't really show it.
You're saying they've deliberately added bezels. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, there's extra bezels on the side. You see? Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that is
Yeah,
right.
because the actual display is like a different like ratio, like a aspect ratio. So it's actually going to be a lot smaller than you think. Like if
Got it. Despite the physical size being like 13 inches.
Yeah, because the aspect ratio is different.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
it's going to be more like a 11-inch display.
Got it. Oh, there's a few comments. Let's run through them. Let's see.
Yeah,
Caro
cool.
says, "Oh, let me hide my face here. Even if I had the money, I'm not sure getting a recent Cintiq would make that much of a difference. My next tablet might just have a bigger screen. What type of screen tech is the most resistant? I'm not sure, actually. I'm not sure.
If you're talking about like the surface, definitely edge glass. But if you're talking about the actual underlying technology behind it, they're all basically the same. OLED is ideal, but I'm not really sure about the burn-in of recent OLED displays. Like I've never had issues, but I know some, like if you run it in like some weird conditions, and especially if it's like got some, like I don't know, there's like temperature variables and all that.
Yeah.
You might get burn-in, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with like sort of like the different options for the screen tech.
Yeah, I
And
haven't
like
really
how they
looked
last
into
over
it
time.
either.
Right. Let's see. Charlie Martin says, "I have about 25 questions. Is there a way to set up a paid voice or video call to get?" The easiest way, Charlie Martin, is to join our Discord. Actually, there's two Discords of interest. There's one for Open Tablet Driver. There's also one for just drawing tablets. You can join either one. The Open Tablet Discord is much more focused just on Open Tablet Discord. Open Tablet Driver, not Discord.
Yeah.
But let me paste in the drawing tablet Discord. Just join us, and I'd be happy to just get on a call, right?
Yeah,
On a Discord chat.
I'm usually on there.
Let me paste in the Discord. Where is it? There. It should be coming. There we go. Just join that, and Hey, I'm retired. I can spend my time talking about tablets. Elsevier, hey, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate that you stopped by. Have a great night. Konto says XP Pen seems to be pro big bezel. Hey, and good for them. Good for them, because right now no one else is doing that, right?
Yeah. There's really two ways of thinking about it, right? Less bezel means you can, like, carry it around easily, but then if it's big bezel, you just have more space to rest your hands. Like, it really depends on ergonomics versus portability, or like, if you need to like put it in like if you have like space restrictions on your desk or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I used to be okay, let me just back up here. If you live in the world of monitors, the conversation is very much about zero bezel, like tiny bezels, zero bezels, right? For whatever reason. And that kind of makes sense because, if you stack a bunch of monitors, you want to see the screen, not the bezels. I think that thinking had bled into a lot of drawing tablets, right? And I used to think, remember which 24-inch Cintiq had those huge bezels? You remember the one I'm talking about, right? Huge bezels, right?
Those are 32.
It was like 2-inch bezels on each side. And
I know the Cintiq 32 had like the biggest bezels.
Oh yeah, 32 definitely had huge bezels. And I always thought, oh, that's so silly to have such huge bezels, right? I could not figure out why. And then we got the Intuos Pro 2025, and then I realized, oh, there is a logical reason to have bezels. So I've become a bezel believer. And I salute, when I first saw XP Pen's Artist Gen 2 models, and I was like, wow, they really, I thought it was a limitation. I thought it was a thing they weren't able to do, correctly, or not correctly, but they weren't able to get the design they wanted. Actually, what I realize now is they're actually trying to get the right design because they deliberately added bezels. So I salute them for it because I believe now I see the value of bezels. And more I'm seeing people talk about the value of having bezels for both pen tablets and pen displays. So yeah, I'm glad that they're pro bezel, and it makes their units distinct, right?
Yeah, I actually really like the look of it, like all their new stuff.
Yes. Let's see. Ukero says, heard about. My face is in the way again. Hang on. Heard about etch glass being more resistant while losing a little bit of paper feel while drawing. I think that's fair. I think etch glass is not. It has a slight texture. It's not strongly textured, but definitely, in my experience, it's been super resistant to scratches. Now, there's one guy out there, David Ravoy. I'll have to simulate it here. He takes like a knife and he tries to scratch the screens. Ooh. There's videos of him doing it, and he can't scratch the screens. He tried it. I saw it on an Artist Pro 19. So that's my question: is like if he's taking a knife and his car keys and deliberately trying to make a scratch, and he can't do it, then what the hell is causing people to get scratched up screens?
Well, you gotta know that, steel and like metals, usually they're around, like, we're using Mohs scale of hardness here, right? Yes, they're around a level 5 to 6, while glass is usually like 6 to 7.
Okay.
So you have to know that, stuff like knives usually won't be scratching anything.
Okay.
But then, let's say a sand particle, which is mostly made of quartz and everything, right? If that gets in there, it's going to start scratching because quartz is
I understand what you're saying.
I don't know if it's really a thing.
There is particulate matter.
Yeah, definitely.
That you might be around, which can scratch things, even if your knife would not.
Yeah, like a knife is pretty soft in like the Mohs scale of hardness compared to a little piece of sapphire. Or like quartz, right? You can easily scratch glass with quartz.
And you'd have to forgive my ignorance on this topic. I just assume there are sources, not naturally occurring, but there are probably things around your house, certain houses, which might have tiny bits of quartz, right?
Well, I don't know, actually. But I'd at least... Oh, let me think. There's got to be some stuff in the house, right? Which is going to be like, more than, like, it is more than enough to scratch your scratch your displays.
I could believe that, certainly. And it's just the luck of the draw. I've just never been in an environment where, even though my house is dusty, I just don't have enough of this specific kind of particulate matter landing on my pen displays, right?
Yeah, that's likely. For me, I have dust everywhere in my room, so I have quite a lot of scratches just sitting around on my on everything that's like plastic.
Yeah. Anything else from Billy you wanted to show us?
Not
or anything else
particularly. I don't really think of anything except for this really stupid looking thing.
What?
That's a 3D render, by the way. This is not an actual thing, but it looks funny.
So is it on the Wacom's actual official?
Yeah, this is Wacom's account.
Okay, and what are they trying to communicate here? There's a joke in here, I'm getting, right? There's got to be some kind of
let's
joke.
use some English here. Oh no, it can't be translated. I'm not particularly good at reading Chinese. It takes like forever for me to read. So, using the chubby Wacom digital pen to have a conversation with inspiration. A quick question: have you been touched by this chubby pen? That is slightly questionable. Wording.
Okay, don't leave this. Let me just highlight the beautiful parts of this. Use the that line itself. Using the chubby pen to have a conversation with inspiration. I love that line. Right? I love that line. Cute and charming creative tool. Gives you the magic of summoning inspiration.
This is translated
Have you been
quite
touched
well.
by Have you been touched by this chubby pen? I mean, wow.
Yeah, Chinese is a very interesting language. Just like most Asian languages, there's a lot of odd things, and who doesn't want a nice Wacom keyboard with the cute cats on there? Looks
Oh,
good.
that's good.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I'd chill out a lot of money for this.
Is that a rendering or a real thing?
This is real stuff. You can actually buy this.
That's cute
Although
as
the
hell.
collab ended like a long time ago, so
Oh, okay. Okay.
yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. Otherwise, there's a lot of anime marketing for, for the Asian markets just in general, I think. Because I know in Japan, like, quite a lot of stuff has like anime marketing, and same thing in China, especially for like the younger generation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but otherwise, really not that much stuff. Oh yeah, cats as well.
I'm all for cats.
Yeah, everyone's for cats. Everyone likes cats.
Let me take a look at the few comments here. Charlie Martian says, I'm 56. I've been seeking tablet tech implementation since the purple and gray Wacom tablet. Hey, Charlie, you should have seen the stream where I showed the last 30 years of Wacom tablets, like in my hands, right? But we're pretty close in age, so definitely join the Discord, because I'm pretty sure.
And also, when it comes to actual tech implementation, there's always Project Patchily.
Yes. And for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, the Yukidama, a netizen, has been creating, designing his own open source tablet. And let me make sure you understand what that means for a second. Normally, when someone has said in the past, I'm going to make a drawing tablet, what they do is they take a Wacom tablet and they mod it, or they take the guts of it, they digitize, and they put it in another shell. All great projects, love those. But Yukidama has done research and has actually designed from like scratch a new tablet. Now, so far, here's where he's at. He's designed a printed circuit board, and had it created, and he was able to get it to work using Open Tablet Driver on Linux with an existing Huion pen, and now he's working on creating his own pen. Yep. So everything is just complete. Is about to be completely new from what he's designed. So that's remarkable, because the implementation of drawing tablets, while not a secret, is not often talked about, and no one's built one. Only a manufacturer's built one. So I'm really excited. Because I feel like it's a great opportunity to learn more about the devices, and who knows, maybe this all these files he's creating for this open source tablet are public. They're on GitHub or whichever system.
GitLab.
GitLab. Thank you. So I'm super excited, and who knows, maybe one day we'll see a new tablet brand that builds off of this learning, right? Because the information's now out there. And the other thing, not so obvious from what I've said, is he does research into specific tablets. So he's able to understand how Wacom does things differently from Huion, from XP Pen, in ways that I'm not an electrical engineer. He really knows it quite deeply. I would say on the face of the earth right now, outside of someone working in Wacom or Huion, or XP Pen. He probably is the only person we could, talk to who would reveal to us how these things technically work. Let's see. Let's get back to a few more comments. Kanto, yeah, I remember the idea on the detachable bezels. Right.
That's always fun.
Let's see. Charlie Martian, I think there's a conspiracy against 22-inch tablets with touch. Hey, I'm there with you, Charlie Martian. I think 22 inch is a perfect size. Not too big, not too small. Right? See, void outs, probably general wear and tear, wearing out the surface and making it prone to scratch over time. Possible. Let's see, Karu says, my old Cintiq got very scratched. My current Huion is fine, but who knows how long. Although probably I would just need to change the AG film. That's one of the benefits, actually, of having these AG films is it protects the actual glass. In fact, I've had a couple of people suggest that Pro tablets should actually come with an AG film because that would allow you to swap things out and protect your investment.
Surprisingly, some of the really cheap tablets actually do have an AG film on them. My UG has like a screen protector kind of anti-glare film on there.
Which one was it that had these?
12. I don't know about the other one, but that's just mine. Stuck on there quite firmly.
Oh, wow. Okay, Ukero mentioned something. Steel nib. Okay, so I did a 6-month experiment about metal nibs. So I got to say, the nibs don't work out, so they don't wear out. That's true. They don't scratch up the tablet. That's true. However, and I need to repeat the test, but in my experiment, I believe that the metal nib may have changed the initial activation force, increased it of the pen, which is not a good thing. It was a big enough change that I think it diminished, how good it felt to draw with the pen. So again, I need to repeat this experiment because I didn't measure the pen before I started the experiment for initial activation force. I did some kind of test, but it wasn't exactly with the scale. So be careful there, right? And especially because these pens, like these Wacom pens, are $80, $130. I generally advise people, I don't recommend using metal nibs, okay? Let's see. Okay, Charlie Martin's joined the Discord. Terrific.
Nice.
And let's see. Kanto says, "Can we take a look at it? What is it you want to take a look at?" I think you talked about maybe the Logitech keyboard, or the keyboard you should. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Kanto, can you clarify? Just because there's so many comments, it's hard to tell what that was in reference to.
Yeah. Famous Logitech Bluetooth keyboard, yeah, it does look like that. And then the 动画 stuff instead of anime, yeah, I know, but no one really calls it that here. So,
what is that in reference to?
The anime stuff. Because in China, like in Chinese, we call it 动画.
That's the name. That's the word for anime.
For like animation.
Animation.
Or like computer animation.
Okay.
Well, not computer, just any animation.
Any animation, even hand drawn.
Think so, yeah.
Okay. And Hera's mentioning To Be Hero X. Is that a series you're familiar with?
Yeah, probably a series. I haven't really watched much. I've only really watched the let's just say the kids shows from back in the day. I haven't been keeping up at all, really.
I haven't watched anime in so long, and because of my age, my thinking on anime is very geared toward the late 80s and 90s. So like, to me, Macross is a thing in my head. You know what I'm saying? But modern stuff is very rare for me.
Yeah, I usually like to watch like the live TV stuff in China, but like, That's kind of it. Like, there's not really much like animated stuff I like. Or I just haven't watched it enough, and yeah, I should
Yeah.
probably start watching some and then see if I like it or not.
Yeah, I'll have to catch back up to it. Okay, anything else? Should I start trying out that new pen tablet kitten?
Why not?
Let's do it. Okay, give me a moment. I need to go and get the device and plug it in and all that. So just give me a few minutes. I'll be right back. Let me do the back soon. Okay, I am back, and let me just do a few things here. Let me get my. We may have lost Tablet Kitten for a second, so let's verify. Tablet Kitten, you still there?
Yeah, it just randomly disconnected me.
Did it say anything?
No, it didn't really.
Okay, I didn't click on anything. At least I don't think I did.
Okay.
But let me know if it happens again. It's. I saw you tried to reconnect, and I just accepted the call. So.
Oh,
I think
cool.
if it happens again, I know what to do. But it was good you sent the message on Discord because I did see that in addition.
Okay.
Okay, so let me let's see. I got where am I here? I may need to try a few things here. Oh, that thing is okay. Hang on. I gotta get my overhead camera to point at the right place. So just give me a minute.
I mean, what are you thinking about this this new Xencelabs anyway? Like any like thoughts like before actually unboxing it and trying it?
Well, that's a great question. What comes to my mind about the new Xencelabs is, first of all,
Yeah, because like I'm kind of thinking because you've never really had like thoughts about, let's say company or like, when you're unboxing it, you don't really like say, any expectations. I feel like it would be
Yeah.
great like to actually, think about it for one, right? Like what
Sure.
would you be expecting?
Let me tell you what's in my mind. So Xencelabs positions itself as a Wacom competitor, and they price their products accordingly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that sets up a huge comparison with any time you get one of their tablets. right?
Yeah, like a really big comparison just with like Wacom. Like you almost, I feel like for me, it's like, it's almost like I'm gonna be expecting that I'm gonna be comparing it with like a Wacom tablet.
Yeah,
like
you have
and the
to.
latest and greatest Pro model.
That's right. That's right. And so we know that their digitizers come from a different family, right?
Hanwha
And
UG.
UG. And you and I are both, especially you, are familiar with, what their digitizers are like, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And then,
I've
go
had
ahead.
a few I did a few bits of testing here and there. The Gen 2 digitizers, like the Artist Pros and all that for the or like the Artist Pro Gen 2s and then the Deca Pro Gen 2s, those are great, like compared to like the first gen ones, which were quite terrible.
And Kanto actually says something. Xencelabs are ex-Wacom. Lots of them came from Wacom, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
Mostly,
not
I think.
and just one more thing, Talbot. And that's not conjecture. I actually talked to some of them, and they'll just say that. They were so passionate about drawing tablets, they decided to do their own thing, right? And and one of the other things they mentioned, and they're quite passionate about it. I got to tell you, they're very passionate about doing something for artists. That comes loud and clear through every interaction I've had with them, right? And we shouldn't pretend that coming up against and being a Wacom competitor is easy, right? But the thing that they said to me, which sort of relates back to your question, Tabkin, is they believe that the technology of drawing tablets is already pretty good. It's already where it needs to be.
Yeah.
So their approach is different from, okay, we're just going to make better tech. They don't think the tech needs to really be substantially improved. Now,
That's fair. That's fair.
yeah, it's a fair approach, right? And part of the way they do that is, I've mentioned this many times in my videos and streams, is they try to have, for example, the box you get has everything you need. Because one of the things they don't want you to do is get the box and then like, where's the cable I need? Especially
Yeah, that's a
tablets.
big problem with Wacom lately.
Yes, as we see, right?
Yeah.
It didn't come with the mini HDMI to HDMI adapter. Like, wow, right? And that was, that wasn't a cheap tablet, the Cintiq 24. Another thing is the two pens. They were the first tablet manufacturer to come with two pens by default, right?
And then some others,
And then others started doing it, right? So I think others are
Huion.
being influenced by that, right? And I think it's a magnificent thing to do, right? Another thing which is less obvious, though, you have to understand, like, remember, I think they're not targeting like hobbyists, right? They're going after professionals, and their products are priced accordingly. And so one of the things if you interact with them in that way, that they'll mention all the time is their product support is based in North America. And they want to make sure that, if you're going to buy into their world, their ecosystem, that you will feel as a design studio in a creative industry, that you feel well supported, that they're there with you to make sure their stuff works in your environment. And if that means they need to talk to you about the driver and things, they're really interactive about the way. Now, for just, someone sketching, that may not be, they may not seem interesting. I can tell you because I worked in the enterprise corporate world. You start thinking that way as an enterprise because you realize always something will go wrong and you're going to need to talk to customer support. And the better that is, the happier you are because you're going to need it, right? So yeah, Wacom, they are trying to be an alternative to Wacom, right? And just like any other tablet brand, I want them to succeed, right? Let's see. Boy, that says, you guys remember the fiasco with buying the Wacom One 2023 on their website? Yeah, that was awful.
Yeah.
That was awful.
Yeah, that was. Why doesn't it not select like the cable by default and everything?
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I got off a little track. But here is the, oh, I'm supposed to turn on the camera. Okay. My camera behind me fell asleep, so I have to turn it on. That's what I got to do right now. If I can find the app for it, that would be nice. What is this thing telling me? Here we go. Okay. It's such a complex camera. I have to connect to it and tell it to like wake up. And let's see if I can get it there. Hello. I can't. That's weird. Let me try closing down the OmSWAT Center. If I can quit it. Because it is acting wildly. Because I want to show you from that view. It's a bit easier than any other view. Yeah, you're right, Kanto. Wake up, time to work. That's what I need. Okay, here we go. Tail series. Hello. Sometimes tech is such a problem.
Yep.
How do you even kill a app in Mac OS?
There's the force quit thingo somewhere, or you'll have to go into the terminal and start, I don't know, htop if that exists, and then start killing it like that. But there should be a force quit thingo at the very top left.
I see something. Let's try it.
When you click the icon or something like that. I haven't used macOS in forever, so.
Okay, force quit.
Like, I haven't tried using macOS forever.
Yeah, force quit. Okay, it force quit. There's no doubt about that.
I'm so used to like going into the terminal and then using htop and then just like sending like a sigterm signal. That's always funny.
Man, a long time ago, I would remember everything you said. Like I knew it. But
Yeah.
It's been so long since I've used Linux, right?
Yeah, it would be really fun to like use Linux again, especially with these tablets, because of how well like it supports it. Right, Linux supports tablets just straight out of the box because Digimen, because Linux Wacom project, right? It's great.
I have to
Like,
admit, the first time I installed Linux and a tablet just worked was kind of mind blowing.
Yeah, like that should be the standard on Windows and Mac OS, but it's never happening.
Well, Windows does have PNP drivers.
Yeah, but it's nothing like the actual drivers that you get with Linux.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I'm still just having problems with this. I'll give it just one more minute, and if I can't get it done, we'll proceed. I just won't use that camera. I'm just really angry that I can't use that camera. I'm gonna try force quitting. No, I don't want to force quit the eCam. No, I don't want that either. That is so funny. I almost feel like there's a window hiding somewhere that I'm not seeing. And I'm just going to say it, even though I know people are going to hate me for it. The way Mac OS does Windows is confusing compared to the way Windows does it.
Like Windows, the window manager, right?
Yeah, it's just...
Yeah.
Windows is so optimized for making things, the windowing work.
I'm actually a sucker for Kwin, so the KDE window manager.
What makes it special?
Oh, it feels really responsive. It's very similar to Windows. Actually, it's very similar to the Windows like window manager. But then you also get some cool modes like tiling, and also you can like mess around with it with like plugins and everything. That's always cool when you actually get to like customize it.
Interesting. So you do a lot of customization?
Not really. But if I want to customize it, I can. But the default is like great.
I may, okay, I'm gonna give one more chance. I think I may understand what's going on now. Let's see, one more chance. I hate tech. I hate tech. I need to log in. Oh, wow. Okay, maybe. Maybe. I'm going to try to turn on this device one more time. So I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Okay, I have a special announcement. If your camera has two USB ports, one for data and one for power, the cable that goes to the power adapter doesn't go into the data port. It goes into the USB-C port for power. I know it's a little complex, but let's just review that. The power USB-C cable has to be connected to the power port on your fancy $800 camera. That is the lesson I have just learned. Okay, so, whew, don't I feel silly?
That's always gonna be fun, yeah.
Oh wow!
When
well,
you don't know, you've just checked everything, and nothing seems wrong until like the most simple thing just comes along, and you're like, "Oh my god!"
To be fair, the OBSWAT app, right? If it doesn't detect the camera's on, right, through the network, the app freezes. Okay. Which is obviously stupid. It should just tell you, hey, I can't detect the app and let you close it. It won't even let me close it. So there is, the fault is not all mine. But at least, you know. Let's see, cut this. Cameras are pretending to be asleep to escape work. Yeah, that's what it felt like. Yeah. I was getting real embarrassed for a second. Okay, let me see if I can figure out how to show you. Well, okay, you can see some of this. Let's see if I can look at that. Woo! Fancy. Tablet Kitten, you see that too, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Everything. Okay, good. Okay, and let me zoom it out a little bit. Yeah, so this is what I got. This is, actually, this tablet here is the Cintiq 24, the one I screamed about a week or so ago, right? And this is it. This is the Pen Tablet Medium Bundle SEV2. So it's a lot going on there. Okay. This is a Canvas Pro 19, which I'm going to slide out of the way. Let me put it somewhere relatively safe. In truth, I might be using the Canvas Pro 19 as my normal sort of fifth monitor because it's a little smaller, right? Makes it a little more convenient. Okay. Yeah, Kanto, it's really nice that they have two pens, and they were the first tablet brand to do it. Okay, now for a second, I'm going to go to my overhead view. So you're going to see a little bit of okay, and let me undo this. I used to be really bad about boxes for products. Like I used to destroy the boxes and then throw away the boxes, even if I didn't destroy them. And now I am not like that at all. I try to preserve all my boxes for aesthetic reasons, at least, but mostly for that and protective reasons. It turns out just like stacking tablets on top of each other is not the best idea. Okay. I'm undoing this. I know you can't fully see it, so let me see if I can zoom out a little bit. Okay. Drop this on the floor. It's a nice box, nothing surprising. I will say, all tablet brands have gotten pretty good about unboxing, meaning the way their packaging works is really nice. Let me move this keyboard out of the way so you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, so okay, there we go. This phrase is dziękuję bardzo, which means I thank you very much. I know more Polish than that, but I just wanted to share that with you.
I mean, they even have German danke, and then Chinese 谢谢, and then Japanese arigato.
Where's the 谢谢?
On the right.
This one. Oh, it's the same character twice. Get it? I get it.
Yeah. And then the bottom, it's got bottom that one. That's arigato, which is Japanese.
Oh, okay.
And then
this
I don't know
Korean?
what merci is. I think it's I don't know.
This
Korean,
is French. That's French.
Oh, okay.
This is grazie means that's Italian.
Okay, and then
this is
danke is German.
That's German, yeah.
I don't know if I pronounced that right at all.
I believe this is spasibo. Spasibo. This is Russian.
Yeah, I think that's spasibo.
I suppose that also means thank you. Look, we did some live translation.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay. Here it is. Let's see. Hera says, Hera, you're Korean, right? Go mapsomnida. Okay, I'm sure I mispronounced that badly, but
I don't
quite
know how to
formally,
pronounce
thank
it.
you. There's one thing I like about my tablet buddies is that there's quite an international audience. Okay. So this actually, first of all, looks really nice. Okay? The 7 languages. My first reaction is, it is white. This is gray. It probably looks a bit darker to my eyes than you see. I thought it was going to be a little bit lighter, actually. But nothing wrong with that. I'm just describing what I'm seeing here. Let's see, Hera says, not Korean, but lived in Korea for almost a decade. Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Wow. Let me get some water here. And Hera's been speaking Korean for even longer. Okay. I'm gonna let me close some of this text because you need to see my hands for this. Okay. Actually, let me rotate the camera a little bit so it's a little more stabilized for you. Okay. Voidout speaks a little German. It feels nice and premium. Let me say that. It definitely feels premium. Okay? And I have the original pen tablet medium, but it's been so long. It's got this section underneath here, it's kind of scooped out, you can see, right? So I guess that's so that you can pick it up a bit easier. Makes sense. Nice, thoughtful touch. Another thing, I don't know if Xencelabs was the first to do it, but they definitely, you can't see it so easy on camera, but it's flat, and it curves down nicely. So your hand doesn't really hit any sharp edges. Okay?
That's a thing on like some of the really old Wacom tablets as well, like the classic Intuos tablets.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, Harry,
that's something that they just kind of got rid of, like later on, like especially like the contours, which like flared out, like sort of merged into each other rather than like a straight line. I loved how they like merged, sort of like at an angle, so that it would actually be really nice to draw when your hand was like, like when your wrist was like at an angle, which is what I
got it.
Yeah,
and that makes sense. Like, it's thoughtful.
I usually like to draw with my tablet on the side-ish, so like
Oh, so not right in front.
Really helped.
Yeah. Let's see. Hera says the white theme is giving a retro Wacom. It is actually. It is.
Yeah, it is.
It's giving the previous Intuos Pro. Yes, the bezels are definitely thicker here than on the Intuos Pro. One thing, it's not a huge complaint or anything. Why is this text now 1,000,000 times bigger than it was before? Before I couldn't make it small enough, and now it's like huge. Oh, I think I know. Okay. I think I may know why. What the heck? There we go. Okay. So, it feels very premium. The back feels nice. I don't know if this is metal. I don't want to scratch it off, to be honest. But everything's kind of feels warm and soft. Nothing odd, nothing unusual. Feels good. Looks very nice. I would say probably the image you're getting on the video is probably a little cooler, meaning it's very slightly more blue than this is, but it just looks good. It looks real good in front of me. You know what I'm really looking forward to is what the pens look like and the pen case. So let's get this out of the box. Oh man, I love these pens. I love these pens. Let me hide this comment here. I love this. The new Xencelabs V2 pens have the Xencelabs logo in yellow at the top. And it is yellow, but because it's on white, when I first opened it up, it almost gave me like a gold feeling, like, a really nice look. That's what I'm trying to say, right? Everything about this looks like, this is very nice rubber. Doesn't seem like it's very dusty. Sometimes the interior of these pen cases get a little dusty.
Yeah,
Solemn
dust can really stick to rubber quite easily, especially if it's like a really soft rubber.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it here. There's a question, do I recommend the XP Pen 22 Plus for the first tablet? I'd recommend that over the Huion 22 Plus. It's a decent tablet. the XP Pen Artist 22 Plus. If you can, the XP Pen Artist Pro 22 Gen 2 is an even much better choice. The Hera is asking what texture is the case. It's smooth, not overly smooth. It's not textured in any specific. It's not like it doesn't feel like it's specially textured in any way. Maybe very slightly. And it's got a nice. You can barely see it. You probably can't see it. It's got a little Xencelabs shiny. It's just like what do you call it? Indented in there, so kind of not obvious. But yeah, everything about this field is very premium. This is, again, maybe everyone doesn't like white. I think it looks fantastic. Okay. Now, I'm just gonna open. I don't like using any kind of remote controls except for my precious tour box, but I'll open this up for you so you can see it. It's got this rubbery surface is a little sticky. I mean, so it doesn't slide, right? So that's nice. Now I don't like any remotes because I have to look down at the remote to see what I'm doing. That's why I like the tour box. Okay. Oh, Hera, it's not rubberized. It's just plastic. It's just plastic.
The general thing with remotes is that once you get used to it, it's not a big deal, right? You don't really have to look down or do anything once you get used to it.
But this has like screens. You can change what it's assigned to.
Oh,
right?
yeah, you can.
And so I think you could adapt to it if you remember it. But like,
definitely.
The other thing I noticed, and again, not to say anything bad about this, like I just found this rectangular shape like a little bit like weird for me to hold, whereas the tour box is like my hand's just on it.
Oh yeah,
it's just resting.
Just a controller.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas this I had to hold. Like you can't. I don't know. I didn't find it comfortable to like rest my hand on.
Yeah, that one specifically is more so made for like the modern, like the drawing display, like the displays. Yeah.
Okay, why are there two of these? I don't know. We'll figure that out. There's nothing about the... Okay, I think this is a USB-A to USB-C adapter. So that's for the tablet. Yep. I think this is maybe a wireless thing for the remote.
Yeah, it looks to be the case.
Right? Because I think the wireless... I don't think you need this for the tablet at all, this small dongle.
Tablet should be Bluetooth.
That's right. And then, let's see if there's a classy cable. Okay, and I said before, they even give you a gray glove.
Oh, nice.
A medium gray glove. Maybe I'll wear it.
It looks to be like one of those like Chinese OEM kind of, like those random textile manufacturers. They just put like the sticker, like the M sticker on there to denote the size. Like it's, like you see it all the time when you go shopping there. Like if you're buying like random suppliers.
Okay, let's see. Oh, look, the glove has a little Xencelabs logo type on it too, right? With the little, sorry, you can't see it, right? It looks nice. Okay, now I will say, this feels nice. Nothing unusual about it. I will say let's zoom out a little bit if I can. I will say the Huion one has a little extra padding down here, which helps. And of course, it doesn't matter here, but the padding may be good in and of itself. But on top of it, for the Huion Canvas Pro, it helps prevent your hand from being detected by touch, the touch sensor of the Canvas Pro 19. And then we have two USB-A to USB-C cables. Now, I assume one of these, probably either one can be used with the remote and either one can be used with the tablet. So I'm not going to carefully pick. One more thing. The USB port is right at the top. And there's some kind of slider button here. Oh, that must be the Bluetooth on-off thing. Because you might have seen it. The button, it turned blue here. Now I'll turn it off. Okay. So far, nice. This is a long cable too. It wouldn't surprise me if this is 6 feet. Okay, let me just undo this. Yeah, I think it's about 6 feet, given my arm span. Okay, so it's a long cable, which is nice. Okay, let's try it out. So I am, you have to, excuse me, I have to stretch a little bit to make this work. So let me move my keyboard a little bit out of the way. There's lots of little, oh, wait a second, even easier. I can stretch the right side. Plug it into my hub for the, yeah, there we go. Okay, now, I think I have the Xencelabs driver installed, so let's take a look. So there's so many cables in the way. I don't want this here. Oops, I pressed on the wrong thing. There, I'm back. Did I turn anything off? Tablet Kitten, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Can you say something again, Tablet Kitten?
Hello, hello?
Okay. I think I muted my earbuds, so give me a second to resolve this, because I'm not hearing, not only am I not hearing the music, I'm not hearing you speak. I think it's my fault. I've got so many pieces of equipment here, I sometimes click on a mute button. If I can find where the volume is. Yeah, I actually muted everything.
Oh,
yeah, okay.
Wow.
Yeah, now I can hear you, Tablet Kitten. Thank you, thank you.
Oh, cool, cool.
So Salam is asking a few questions about the best display tablet. Maybe Canvas. Canvas 13 Gen 3. Is a good choice.
I usually like to kind of quote Chinese prices, which is pretty bad habit, honestly, for me, because, you know, I don't really know the prices too well, like outside of the Chinese market, right? So, you know, in that case, I would literally be recommending like the Canvas Pro 19, because that thing is like $650 when you do the conversions. I'm not sure about the conversion now, but like just like a few months ago, I did the conversions and it was like $650 when you do the conversion. Yeah, it's really cheap. But then you know, prices get jacked up.
The price, prices changed in the U.S. It's I
it
feel
gets
like
jacked up
800 or 900.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I mean, it's a good
Makes
tablet,
sense.
but like I would like it to be a little less expensive, right? Okay. Another nice touch is that people don't notice this, but let me give you the overhead view. Okay, so when I plugged it in, let me unplug it and you'll get it. Okay, so just pay attention to this area right here. This the little arrow. Well, it's on battery now. So there we go. I turned it off. Okay, so when you plug it in and it's got power or battery, it actually lights up. Okay, now it's kind of yellow. You might be able to tell it's slightly yellow. It looks a little bit more intensely yellow, a little bit more to my eyes, but you can change this color. Minor thing, but a nice little touch, right? Let's see, Nidal is asking a question. Is the Canvas 16 Gen 3 better than the Artist Pro 16 Gen 2? In terms of drawing, yes. In terms of pen, yes. Not sure about screen. Okay. And let me get my... Okay. So, Uh, I just feel like this thing should have infinity stones attached, you know? Some kind of... Okay, I think I have the driver installed, so let's see if I can find it. Look at this, these... Whew. Oh, man. I'm gonna start my... Okay. Do I have Xencelabs installed? Xencelabs.
You have all the drivers installed at once on Mac, right?
I should have it, but this is a system I haven't used in a while. Okay, it looks like I don't have the Xencelabs driver, so I'm gonna have to download it. Okay. So let us, in the best interest of everyone, let me move some of these things around here so you're not seeing some stuff. And let's get to the Xencelabs. Now, just again, on Mac OS, I've had great success with multiple tablet drivers installed. On Windows, it's a little bit of a mess. You can blame... I don't know who to blame for that one, though.
Blame WinTab, actually.
Does that mean
I like
it's
to
implicitly blaming Wacom?
I like to blame WinTab because on Windows Inc. usually there's not many conflicts, not like a big deal when you use that. But WinTab, you can only really have one driver control like the WinTab stuff. I'm not really sure how it works, but there's a good reason to have Open Tablet driver. If you have like different brands of tablets connected on the same machine, or like you're gonna use like two different brands of tablets on the same machine, usually like on like a constant basis, you really do want Open Tablet driver unless you're like sure that everything will work with Windows Inc. Oh, actually, when you use Open Tablet driver, you can only really use Windows Inc. anyway.
That's right. That's right. Okay.
If you absolutely need, like, if you absolutely need WinTab, then well, you're kind of stuck with like the manufacturer drivers.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, Mac OS driver. Looks like the very recent version, 6.23/2025. So let's download it and install. I guess I double click on DMG. Continue.
It's actually great that they also have older versions as well.
Yes.
Yeah, I know Huion just doesn't provide like the older versions. I'm not sure about XP Pen and Sense.
No, don't they?
I don't know. I've not seen it on the driver download.
Yeah, I think it's at the very least Tablet, and it's harder to find the older versions.
Yeah, it should be harder to find.
Okay, so next comes a bunch of security questions, which everyone... This is just the reality of using tablets.
On Mac.
Void outs on the Mac, yes. Void outs, how much of the Xencelabs tabs again? $330. $330. And I realize that's a lot to deal with. Now, this window came up also, but I'm going to deal with the security stuff, okay, first. Let me move this window out of the way. Okay. Open system settings. What did it say?
Accessibility features.
Accessibility features. Okay. Open settings. And click this. So that's accessibility is the first thing. Jeez. You're going to see me type in stuff for a while. Okay. And something came up a second ago. Did you see it? And it just didn't show it to me? Or keep the installer, keep the installer. Okay, let's just go back to this thing. And we'll just do guided setup. Okay, these devices have been detected. Sure. Okay, it needs to know about my keyboard for shortcuts. Sure. Tablet buttons. Okay, what are the settings defaulted to? Okay, open the settings, adjust pressure, and then switch display. Okay, reasonable. Interesting that the default thing has a dead zone.
I don't really like that, actually.
Interesting. Oh, look at this. This is actually kind of nice. They talk about the mapping at the beginning. So I'm going to try display. Display 2 is in the middle. Okay, great. Conto says, is this closer to the Intuos Pro Medium in size? Yeah, it's close to the. Let me bring over the Intuos Pro Medium, and you can take a look. Okay, give me 1 second. Yes, Voidouts. I have 5 displays. Now that's a little overkill. I'm working on going back down to 4. One of the displays is a teleprompter, though I'm looking right at the camera, which is one of the displays. Okay, so overhead view, zoom out. This is to answer Voidouts questions. This is the Intuos Pro 2025. So, right now, I'm going to put my fingers where the active area is, right about here, right? So it's almost the exact same active area, okay? And where is my Intuos Pro 2017 medium? Okay, so you can see how much bigger the bezels are, and this size it is bigger. Like if I put my fingers there and put it here, I think it's a bit wider than this. I didn't do the math, but they're generally similar. You can definitely see the difference in the bezel. So it's wide bezel, maybe almost 2.5, 3 inches, about 1 inch. And here about 1/2 inch, right? So that's the size comparison. Hope that helped, Voidouts. Hope that helped. Okay. Let me. So I need to scale down a window here. Even with 5 displays, things get confusing. Let's get back to. Okay. Now, I want to show you the demo screen. Is that it? No. There we go. So this is where we were at. I downloaded the Xencelabs driver. Let me close this. I mapped it to display 2. Application custom settings, click keys. Sure. Okay. Finish. Okay, I'm not going to register it right now. It opened up a window for registration on a web browser. I'm just going to close it. So I know what Tablet Kitten's going to ask me to do. We just take a look at the pressure curves for these things.
Yep.
Let's see. Where is I think it's here. Okay. No dead zone. So just a flat neutral curve.
That's interesting considering, okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Now in the picture they showed, the middle one was moved over.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And notice how it moves a little bit more, like it's dynamic, right? Now, just so
know-
everyone, I know. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was thinking like there's only one like anchor. Is that called like an anchor or node or something in the middle of
Yeah.
that, like the square in the middle? There's only one. So instead of like what multiple, like
And it doesn't let me add
can't even
multiple.
add another one.
Thanks, Charlie Martian. Have a great night. Thanks for stopping by.
Like
Oh.
that's interesting because all the drivers I know of, like the Huion drivers, right? There's like two anchors, nodes, whatever. I don't know what they're called. That you can drag around.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, if you want to do like an S shape, you can't really do that.
You
with
can't do
this
it
one.
here. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
And I think it's reasonable. I think the app is the place for doing weird things like that.
Yeah, but it's not like you can't like implement it. Like it's a good thing in my opinion to have as much customization as the user really wants. But obviously, there has to be like a simple mode. There has to be like a way for like a normal user to not get confused and all that.
Yeah. And that's the big fear I would have is like people will mess around with it and not know what they're doing. And next thing you know, it's a support call, right?
Yeah.
Which can
So,
be very
like-
difficult to work through.
Yeah, so like, ideally there would be like an advanced features section that has like a small warning that you could dismiss. But
Yeah.
then like obviously even with that you're just gonna get more support calls.
Okay, I'm pressing down. Actually, let me erase this again. Everyone sees what I'm trying to do. I'm painting with the 3-button pen. I'm pressing really light. And I'm pressing at the max pressure. Now, the question is, what is the max pressure? And you know what? Don't I have a scale around here? I believe I do. Oops, I dropped my pen, which I always tell people never to do. I'll test the max pressure, right? But maybe not this very second. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna leave it like this, and then I'll try the thin pen. I'm trying to guess what the max pressure is right now.
Does it feel lighter or like heavier?
If I had to guess, I would say it's 400 to 500 in that zone. I don't think it's 800, right, or 700. Let me try the other pen as well. Yeah, I'll get the scale. Yeah, I feel like it's in the 400. I mean, I could be off, but that's where we need the scale. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back with the scale, and we're gonna just test the max pressure of the pens. I'm not gonna test the initial activation force because I'm not good at that yet, and I need to have a special kind of equipment for that. Someone did ask a question in the chat. What's the best? See, the text got small again for some insane reason. What is the best wireless tablet without a screen? Honestly, if you want the best, it's the Intuos Pro, 2017 or 2025 edition. That is the right answer.
I'd say 2017, yeah. Not really
There's
the
lots of reasons to
2025.
go with the 2017, but they're both equivalent drawing quality, right? But there's some form factor things about the 2017 which are some people really like, meaning the bezels and the edges that aren't painful. Okay, I'm looking for my the tablet is right in front of me. Okay. Let's see. Maybe I should show it to you this way and zoom in so that you. Oh, I'm sorry. The music changed again. Let's zoom in a little bit more. I like this new camera view because it just gives you a new way of understanding what the hell is going on when I say I measure things. Okay, so I do this, I turn it on. Oh, power, that's the wrong button. There's the power button. Okay, now I'm doing this by hand, so there's a little bit of error involved. So remember what I'm doing. I'm looking to see when it says 100% in the, actually this is probably the easiest way to show this to you. How do I show this? I'm looking for where it says 100% here, and I know you can barely see it. And then I'm gonna match it up with what the scale says, okay? So for this view, you're just going to see the scale, and I'm looking at the 100%. So first I tare the weight, meaning set it to 0. And I'm testing the 3-button pen first, okay? So I just have to be a little careful for this. I'm letting the pen just hang off my hand, okay? But I got to be in this little zone here, okay? When it's basically, I'm just preventing it from falling, it's 17.6 gram force, and that's reading at 15% pressure, okay? Now, I like to get to 50%, so I'm gonna try to hold it steady at 50. So I would say 50 is something like anywhere between 95 to 105, which is, I think, typical for a lot of pens. Now the question is, what is 100%? It's usually easier for me to hold pressure at 100%. Or first, I'll do like 95 first. 300. And I'm looking with, I would say 100% is like 350 gram force.
That's not too bad.
It's not too bad. It's fine. It's a little on the low side.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm going to do the 2-button or the thin pen. Like it's in the good category. It's in the good category. Let's get this thing here. So first, I'll just let it hang from my hand. So the pen weight is 13.3 gram force, or 13, and it's hitting about 6 or 7% pressure. Now I'm going to go to 50% pressure. Very similar. It was about 100 to 105 gram force for 50% pressure. Now I go to, let's see, I'm gonna get to 95 first. Okay, I would say at 95% pressure, it's like 375 gram force. And now I'm going to get closer to, right up to 100. As my eyes move back and forth, I would say that 100% pressure is about 390 or 400 gram force. Okay? So it seems like these pens are really in that 350 to 400 region. Okay? So totally acceptable for working with the pen. Okay. And let us now get back to the screen. Oops.
It's actually quite good that the two pens are relatively like similar with each other.
Yeah, yeah, and you know what?
Yeah.
Let me take a look at. Let me find 1 second. Hang on. I'm gonna open up a window. I'm gonna find. I think I measured another pen, and let me find it because I keep all my records visually sorted out, like as slides that people can see.
Yeah. Like, I feel like it's especially important to have like very little variance between,
As
like
much as
pens.
possible.
Yeah, especially if they're, two pens that are like coming with the same tablet, right? And like they're coming in a bundle. You'd want them to be as similar as
Yeah,
possible.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Now another thing I'm looking for here is the. Hang on. I can open it up in Finder. I'm trying to open up a PowerPoint, but I have to find it. So let me find it. OneDrive.
It always gets me how bad Finder can be on
Oh
Mac.
God, yeah.
Yeah, like Windows Explorer is bad in its own right. Like mainly with like file operations. Windows Explorer is just insanely slow, right? But like the
It can be slow,
actual
yeah, yeah.
yeah, it is really slow, and like the search function is also ridiculously slow. But like still, like the UI is pretty nice.
So I'm gonna find the Xencelabs pen. Okay, so here's the Xencelabs 3 buttons pen. This is the previous measurement I had, okay? And this was kind of a janky, scientific word, janky measurement, right? But take a look at it. 50% was like, I don't know. In this measure, I think this is again janky, so it's the line shows it like, let's say 60 gram force was 50% logical. And then 350 pressure, gram force, was 100% logical. So really, these two pens are pretty consistent with this graph in terms of maximum pressure, right? That's good news.
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect. It's good news, right? And this was, again, a janky measurement on my part. Now that I have 3 of these pens, I can, and I have a better technique now, I can redo this. Okay, let's take link chat. Voidout says, I have a pet peeve with tablet driver UIs. Wacom has the best one with the updated version. I don't know. I would give it honestly the Xencelabs. I think they have the best driver UI.
When it comes to like non-manufacturer drivers, Open Tablet drivers UI it's very reminiscent of like sort of Hawku drivers. Like at least the mapping, and then everything else is like kind of buried in like the tabs and everything.
Yeah.
And also, you need the plugins and everything, and it's quite annoying to actually get set up compared to like a normal tablet driver.
Yes.
If there's one I kind of would praise, it's actually on Linux. On KDE's drawing tablet like settings page, it's actually very simple. It is a very simple page, but it gets to the point. You've got the mapping settings, pretty good design, very simple, and then you also got the pen settings as well on like another tab, and it's labeled quite well.
This is with, sorry,
Um,
which driver UI was this?
Hold on. I'll just go share my screen from
Okay.
here. Um, let's try this.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the drawing tablet settings from the KDE desktop, right?
Yeah.
So it's right here, drawing tablet device. I've got Open Tablet Driver installed, so it doesn't show any of my Wacom's, but it does show my UG. So there's mapping options, orientation, and then mapping area. And you can also manually resize it as well and move it around. This is a really simple settings page, and then there's also pen. Left-handed mode is just like flipped basically, and then pen buttons you can modify that, and then everything's on like one page, and you just get like the bare minimum of like settings, but it's basically all that you realistically need to configure anyway, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no reason to like bother about having to change smoothing settings or having to use reconstructor to remove like smoothing that you don't want. And then there's also pressure range calibration if you really want to do that. That's just normal pen tablet calibration for the pen input. But there's like pressure range settings, and like this is also pretty cool where you can like
can you add nodes?
I think it's 2 nodes in total,
Okay.
but it's
you
pretty
can
cool
add one in
that
the
you
middle.
can.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
then-
it is useful to be able to do this for sure.
Yeah, it is, and this is a very intuitive UI. Like, it's very easy to use. Like everything's set out very well,
Yeah.
actually.
Let's see. Voidat just made an interesting comment. I'm a UI designer, and I might make a driver UI decipher. Hey, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it.
Yeah.
Let me ask a question, Tablet Kitten. For Open Tablet Driver, like there's the UI and then there's the what do you call it?
The
daemon,
console and also the daemon.
right? And the actual driver is the daemon, right?
Yeah, the actual driver is the daemon. This thing just kind of configures it.
Configures. Okay, so it would be just on this theme of like making a driver UI. It would be possible for someone to write a driver UI that worked against Open Tablet Driver, right?
I think
Like
so.
It seems because that's the way the current one works.
Yeah, pretty much, I think.
Okay. And I
Seems to
brought
be
that
the
up
case anyway.
because that's the only. I mean, as far as I can tell, that's the only tablet driver someone could probably make a driver UI for, right?
Yeah, you'll have to ask Cube or any of the
Okay.
Open Tablet Driver devs. I'm not too sure about any of that.
Okay, folks. I need to take a bio break, so just give me a few minutes. I'll be right back, and we can continue our discussion. Okay. Thanks. Okay, I am back. I am back. Okay, so where we left off is we figured out the pens are consistent, and we know roughly speaking their max pressure range. I would believe Xencelabs. I think they said that their um, initial activation force was like 3 gram force, which seems normal. Now again, I'm testing the V2 pens, which is seeing here's the V1 pen, but I'll do another test of the V2 pens. I have another one somewhere that I found recently. So I should have 3 I can do a sample for. Okay, the next thing I want to test is just some basics about pressure and tilt. And you know, I have a testing app for that. So let's go back to my screen. And we're going to go to, where is it? Oh, here it is, okay. Git book. It's my online tablet tester, which is hosted on GitHub. Tablet tester. There we go. So Voidots, if you are still online, if you're gonna design some UI for a driver, let us know. I think all of us would be curious about it.
I mean, it really like depends on how you're gonna design it, because it can either be for like the most advanced user you can dream about, or like someone who has absolutely no knowledge on like anything.
That's right. Why is it not coming up? There we go. Okay, so I'm going to just test pressure just to see how the drawing works and what my reaction to it is. And for some reason, on this website, I'm not getting any pressure reaction. It's just showing up as 100. Oh, now it's working. Okay, looks like just a little, maybe a website error. Okay, a couple of things. I'm going to take out one of my earbuds. There's a very gentle sound on the surface. It's not super scratchy, which is nice. And if I press hard, I would say this feels nice to draw with, right? Like, I can maintain smooth pressure. Let me clear this again. Any variation here due to me, not to the tablet. So I feel like this is well controlled, very well controlled. Now, like most tablets, like all tablets pens I've ever tested, this pen is more sensitive at low pressure. Like it's overreacting to pressure at the low end. So what you normally do there is, you find the Xencelabs UI here. This is the 3-button pen, so I'm going to go there. What I would do is I would change it to be a little. I'd keep this thing, the left bottom node, touching the left, okay? But I'd probably make it a curve like this, and then watch the reaction in the drawing app. See, the very thin strokes are much more controlled, right? And remember, look at pressure, not whether the line's going, if it's, you know, I'm not drawing the line perfectly myself. But it feels good. I mean, like, I'd be happy with this. You may have noticed there's some bumps here. That's not due to the tablet. That's the how I'm rendering the stroke. So let me just show it to you. This happens with every tablet. If I draw a really fast line, you'll notice it does the segmentation. That happens with all tablets, okay? And it's just a consequence of how this line is getting drawn, right? In fact, it should normally look worse than this, to be completely honest. I think actually I see a difference in how It may even work on Mac or Windows, but this looks fine. Don't read anything into it. Okay. The next thing I want to tell is, what about tilt? So is anything weird? So now the only reason it's changing size is tilt. So I'm straight up, and I'm tilting to the right, and I'm tilting to the left. Yeah. Everything works fine. Like I'm totally satisfied with the drawing experience here, right? Now, one thing I do want to test is,
one thing I kind of think you should maybe test is
yeah,
whether there's like a load of like jittery tilt or whether the tilt isn't like accurate.
tell me how I can test that.
So um you can get like a glass or like a cup or something and then
Yeah.
put the pen like straight on there, like just in there. Or like do you have like a roll of tape?
Yes. Yes, I
Yeah,
do.
get the roll of tape and then just like lie the pen on that roll of tape just inside. So that'll make it so that, it's fully still. If you see
Yeah.
any jitter in the tilt reports,
Yeah.
then that might be a problem. That was a problem with the first Xencelabs pen
Okay.
tablet.
Okay. We can try that. Does the pen have to be more vertical, or can it be? Does it matter?
Just as long as it's within its tilt range, I don't
Okay.
really see any problem with it.
Okay. Give me a second. I'll be right back. And this time I was right back. I have lots of rolls of tape.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am going to just put it like this, right?
Yeah, like that.
Okay, and let's see what happens. Let me clear the screen. Begin my music, and I'm not seeing much jitter through the web UI, right?
Yeah, then
This may be the web UI.
yeah, it might just be web UI. I usually test it in Open Tablet Driver.
Since I don't have that installed on this Mac, let me just try Krita to see if there's any difference
Yeah,
at all.
Krita would be pretty good since it like actually takes in all the reports. By the way, Krita's tablet tester seems to be like a pretty like I think a default-ish tester that you'll find with Qt framework, like the Qt framework. Because like I get the same UI in the tablet tester in the KDE settings.
Oh, you think it's just a generic?
Yeah,
UI.
and also you get the same thing in Drawpile as well, and that's like a Qt application as well.
You know what I'd like is some just tiny little application.
Yeah, that probably would be the best thing we got. I guess the one that you find in Krita, because I'm pretty sure it's a pretty generic one, but I'm not too sure.
Okay, I'm moving. Okay, sorry. Didn't mean to open this up. Let me do a new drawing here. Because I want to maybe test some other things. Now let me. Where is it?
Settings. Somewhere. What was it? Preferences.
I think on Mac it's different from Windows. Yeah, here. It is.
Yeah. It's different from Linux as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because like on Linux you have configure Krita on settings, but it doesn't seem to be there on Mac for some.
Okay, so I'm seeing the same issue that happens on Mac OS. Unless you're moving the position, you don't get a report of pressure.
Oh, okay.
Like the only reason this is happening is there's jitter in the position. Now once there stops
Is there jitter
jittering,
in the? Does it look like there's jitter? Oh, I don't see where. I don't see any like tilt anywhere. Any reports? I don't know.
I would say I probably have to try this on Windows.
Maybe. That is weird.
You know what? Yeah. You know what? I have Open Tablet Driver on another machine right next to me.
Oh, cool.
Let me move this scale out of the way since I think I'm done with it.
Yeah. That's also a great way of testing like low pressure, I guess, jitter and like instability. Since you're not moving the you're not like the pen isn't moving. It's not
Yeah.
like having any difference, like any external stuff touching it.
Would someone
And also, huh?
Go ahead.
Yeah, so like basically it's a good way of just testing anything like to do with like pressure, jitter, like anything to do with jitter really, because like the whole like the pen is just staying still completely, and all that.
Should I expect to see jitter in the pressure and the tilt?
In the tilt, I don't know.
Okay.
If you're looking at the first, like if you're kind of referencing the first Xencelabs tablet, yes. And if you're referencing like some XP Pen tablets, like the I think now I don't know if it's discontinued, the Deco Gen 2s, like not the Deco Pros, and also I think some of the UG tablets, like my UG, like my UE12, you would get some. I think you'd get some jitter. I'm not 100% sure though with this new one. So I don't know what to expect because I haven't seen it on the like Deco Pro Gen 2s.
Got it. Okay. The screen you're seeing right now is the tablet with Open Tablet Driver, or the Surface, the laptop with Open Tablet Driver.
I like to call a Surface a tablet. It is not a laptop. It's just a tablet running Windows.
Now, let's connect using a USB-C cable. Let's connect this thing here. I'll disconnect it from the Mac. Okay, an Open Tablet Driver is running.
Oh, cool.
It actually detected it. It actually detected it.
Nice. Wait, then it means that it's using like the same. Might be using like the same IDs as like the old Xencelabs.
Now you're seeing the screen. Okay, now the mapping seems to be a bit off or something. I'm not sure why it's...
that's totally fine. Just set the display and go to the that should fix it up. That should fix it up. And then at the bottom, lock to aspect ratio at the tablet. Like right click the tablet area and then lock aspect ratio. Yeah.
Okay, it's still like I'm moving.
You'll have to apply it. You'll have to apply it.
God.
Yeah. Yeah. That's unintuitive UI for you.
It should just say when you make a change, you've not applied the change. I don't know.
That's Open Tablet Driver for you. It wasn't really designed for normal users in mind, huh?
Okay, something's not quite right here. Let's see if this is going to do it.
Nope. No.
Why isn't the mapping correct? Oh, I didn't hit apply. Something's not right here. Like here's my mouse. Sorry, here's my pen in the upper. As far as I can get into the left.
Okay.
You see what I'm
saying? Okay. Just go to display 1, maybe. That one's your. I'm guessing your Surface display is the first display. Yeah, and then.
Actually, you know what would be good is for me to see how my displays are actually mapped. How's that? Okay, so I'm duplicating.
Oh, okay.
Okay, maybe I should restart OTD.
OTD doesn't need to restart for that. Okay. Then map to all displays. Map to all displays, I think.
Okay, align, like virtual
Yeah,
display.
virtual display.
Now,
Oh,
how does it go?
that's weird.
It's still not doing the effect. Sorry, I didn't hit.
Yeah.
Apply.
I don't know
It's still
how
not.
OGD does the display stuff.
Okay, let
On
me just
Linux, it's pretty
restart
funny.
it. Let me restart it.
Okay.
Okay, I mean, I'm just guessing this might have some better effect.
Yeah.
Right?
On Linux, you have to go into the lib input settings and then like change it so that it's all display so that the mapping works. Uh,
Let's see. I'll just start the app again.
but like this, like Open Tablet Driver really kind of shows you, you know.
Okay, now
how
it sort of
bad-
like understands the universe better.
Okay. Okay.
So this is in a better place right now. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So this is the upper left. This is the upper. Oops. This is not quite the upper right. So we're
That's
getting
fine
better
for
though.
now. I guess for now it's not a big deal.
This should fix it.
Yeah, that should.
Well, not quite. It's fine. But you're right. We're good for now. We're good for now.
Yeah, just
Where's
apply
my
that,
damn
and for tablet, just clamp like go to. Actually, just apply that for now, and then that should be fine.
Oh, it's correct now.
Yeah.
It's correct now. Okay, got it. Okay, we're good. Woo! Let's get some tape on this thing. And you want me to open the tablet debugger, right?
Yeah. It's tablet debug is the most reliable option, in my opinion. Yeah.
Here we go.
Nice. That pressure, that dip in pressure was a bit odd, but
What did you notice?
it's not happening now. There's a little bit of pressure jitter. That's totally okay.
Very minor.
Yeah, very minor. I don't have an issue with even like quite a bit of pressure jitter, right? I don't really care. You can't notice it regardless. It's like when you do get it down to like 1000 pressure levels, it's like only 1 or 2 levels. You can't notice it. Yeah. The good thing is tilt is actually stable.
Stable, yeah.
Yeah. And try
Did
to
you
move
see
it so
a
that...
difference before?
Huh? What do you mean?
But did you expect to see a jittery tilt?
Not really, considering
Not
that
really,
the second gen artists, not artists, the Deku Pro Gen 2s don't really have that issue.
Okay.
From when I was messing around with the demo models, I didn't see that as an issue. So, I wouldn't say it's expected. I would say it's just a pleasant surprise because,
Okay.
like the previous, because I like to put Hanbon Yuji digitizers into 2 different categories, right? The one after 2023 and the one before 2023. The one before 2023 was, for a lack of a better word, it was just terrible. Right? Like it had so many flaws that just needed to get ironed out. It didn't mean it was unusable. It was totally usable, right? I was drawing with one as well, which I learned from a friend. It was totally usable for drawing, but like on a purely technical level, it is not good. There's not like the new ones. They've definitely made a lot of improvements. They've really fixed up a lot of issues. Tilt.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure about the tilt wonkiness. There might be an issue with accuracy, which I haven't really tested yet. The jitter's gone, and also the like I guess pressure, like the pressure scan rate thing that Cube kind of talks about. Although I'm not really, I wouldn't really call that pressure scan rate. More like how long does it take to detect the pen and detect pressure.
Got it. Okay. What I'm going to test now is the diagonal wobble.
Oh, good old diagonal wobble.
Good old diagonal wobble, because that's my obsession. That's my.
Yeah, I think I stopped caring about diagonal wobble after like a little while.
What?
Myself, I don't really care about it at all. I don't see a reason unless it's like severe.
Well, yeah, that's the point. Let's see if it's severe, right? I'm not wanting it to be severe. Okay,
Yeah.
this should be about 45 degrees.
Like, personally, I only think diagonal wobble's a big issue if you can actually notice it when you're normally drawing. Like, something isn't right. Like, this kind of diagonal wobble you're showing right here, that's very specific, right? Yes, I can see it even on the preview I have, right? Um, but, like, normally drawing, like, because you're never going to draw a straight line. You're always going to draw a at least slightly curvy line, and that's going to hide quite a lot of the
Well,
diagonal wobble.
okay, how can I say this? Okay, it's not that you're incorrect.
Yeah.
You're correct. Like, no one's drawing a perfectly straight line, right? No one's bringing up a ruler. That's not where diagonal wobble will be a problem. The problem is when you're drawing a curve, but
Yeah.
you're drawing carefully,
Ah, okay, yeah.
right? Imagine this,
haven't
you're trying to
thought
draw
about that.
carefully and you see the cursor move in ways like it's dancing around.
That's
the tip is.
fair.
That's where the problem is. Now, that's why, like I say, in this example, I'm going to zoom in a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think, now this line looks rough for other reasons. Actually, there's a couple of things going on here we need to talk about.
You're using absolute mode, right?
Yes,
In
is that what's
OpenTeleDrive.
going on
Yeah.
here? Okay, let's
Just
fix
change
that.
it to Windows Ink and it will fix
Windows
it.
Ink mode. Okay. Thank you for reminding me. Okay, I'll redo this test. 'Cause
And also, you need to click apply.
God! God!
That's just bad UI for you.
It's bad UI. It's not a user error. It's not user error. It's bad UI. I'm glad someone disagrees. Okay, let's try this again.
I've kind of drilled that into my mind after using OTD for like a better part of the decade at this point, I feel.
What the hell is my...
Yeah, because I also used to use Hawker drivers. So, like, it's not something I'm not... Like, it's not something I forget, yeah.
Why
Like,
is
I
it not
forget to
drawing
do
now? Okay, that's drawing, but this is not drawing. Why is it not drawing?
Oh, yeah, go into OpenTeleDrive again. You need to change the pen button. So go into pen settings.
Bad UI. Bad UI.
No, this is just unintuitive configs because it wasn't really made for that. Pen settings.
What I want is I'm making it
You
up.
go into
I mean, don't
pen
take it
settings.
literally. What I want is when you select Windows Ink mode, right?
Yeah.
One button that says just set all the pen settings correctly.
Yeah, fair. This isn't Linux. I think OpenTeleDrive was just made for Linux to begin with, so this was kind of an afterthought, or at least it feels like it.
Okay, this should take it.
Because it's always funny, because like on Linux, OpenTeleDrive just works so flawlessly. All you need to do is like enable the daemon service in
Yeah.
systemd, and then all of a sudden, wow, it just works. It sets itself to artist mode. Realistically, the only thing that you need to do is go into your lib input settings and then just change your tablet to all screens so that the actual tablet mapping in OpenTeleDrive will work. But that's kind of it. It's very simple compared to on Windows. Like it feels like Windows is an afterthought, but like not really as well. Like it was made as an OSU tablet driver to begin
Yeah.
with, right?
Not as
So-
artistic.
So like I don't think it's a big issue.
Okay,
That yeah.
here's the wobble, right? Now, I think it should be a little better, to be quite honest, right? And the reason I say that is I'm comparing it to a Wacom, okay? and pen tablets should be a little better. I think if you look at some other ones, you'll see they just don't wobble quite as much. Now, this isn't a lot. And I think I was drawing pretty slow. If I draw, oops, I dropped my pen again. Hang on.
Durability testing.
Durability testing. I always tell people don't drop your pens. And here I am dropping it 3 or 4 times in this one stream alone. Okay, so as I draw, do I notice any wobble? I feel like, let me just delete this. Do you see there's a little bit of bump there? You see this like right here? Right?
Yeah. I don't
And
seem
there
to
isn't
have
much
any
here.
advantage.
There's just a couple of times where I feel like, hey, that bump isn't me. Right? In fact, I'm drawing this by hand, right? Let me undo that last one for a second. I just feel like I detect a little bit. Now, if you're drawing in a normal pace, though, like this, let me draw, you know, you're not going to notice anything, right? You get what I'm saying, right? This kind of pace
Then
of
the
drawing,
problem comes along when you're doing line art.
line art, and you're being very careful. Now, there's a couple of people have questions here. Is there any way to autosave the config for OTD?
I
don't
Not
think so.
really. You just have to press save the entire time.
Got it. Yeah, Voidouts, you're lucky nothing broke. Most of the time, nothing bad happens, but sometimes it definitely does. Okay, so now the test is going to be, again, lots of tablets have a little bit of wobble, so I'm not going to, this isn't bad. I'm just, this is just what's the measurement reveal, right? Now the question is, how much smoothing do you need to have to get rid of the wobble? So if I go over here to brush smoothing and I go to basic, will that eliminate the wobble? Yeah, I don't think it will, by the way.
It probably
It's-
won't. Basic is
it's a
just to
try.
get rid of like some like really like chattery kind of stuff.
Yeah. So I don't think it got rid of much of anything. It might have had a
You'll
slight
need to use the
improvement.
stabilizer or weighted.
Weighted. Now with weighted,
Yeah.
I think 200 is a good place to be. So let's just take a look. I think a lot of people, let me zoom in here. Look how good that looks, right? Someone will not have a problem with this, right? But you just got to know which setting is going to work, right? Now, would 100 as the weighted setting work? Let me set it. Because, of course, the more you weight this thing, I set it to 51. Let's see if that makes a difference. At 51, I can see it a little bit. Probably at 100 is a good test point then. Let's say it's 114. I'm glad I get to do this test. It's almost perfect at 100, around 100, right? It's minuscule. And again, I'm trying to bring out the wobble. So normal drawing for me is like this speed, right? I don't think you'd notice a wobble. I don't think I would notice a wobble. So I'm happy with this tablet. I'm happy with this, right? You just got to know what sensitivity. And this is, I think, this amount of wobble is, I think, typical for a hand von UG. And it reminds me of the Deco Pro Gen 2 and the Artist Pro Gen 2, right?
Yeah.
In other words, nothing special. Nothing out of the ordinary here. Yeah, but I'm happy with the wobble here, right? I would call it, I don't know if I'd call it, it's not extremely low. It's on the low, it's toward the low side, but not extremely low. Okay, Anything else we wanted to test here?
That's kind of all really just for me. I don't
Yeah.
really care too much apart from like just testing the actual characteristics.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be bothered to go test pressure scan rate. I haven't even found a good test for it myself. So
The
yeah,
dots
there's no
thing.
point.
Yeah.
You can try draw as lines as quickly as you can, or dots as quickly as you can, but then that only is a problem when you're going from outside of the hover distance.
Yeah.
And going back into the hover distance. Like I don't see that
Oh, I see.
as much of a So when you're going out and in from the hover distance, that's the only time where you actually are going to get some issues. Is that the case? Here?
I mean, it's such a big distance to cover, right?
Oh yeah, but like
I haven't
yeah.
seen any missed strokes yet,
mhm.
but it's a wild swing, right? To get like 15
Yeah,
millimeters.
wild swing, but hey, you gotta test for all conditions, right? And when you're not going out of the hover distance, it's like it doesn't seem to have any issues.
Let's see. I'm going out of the hover distance. I think I did
Yeah.
notice a missed stroke.
Yeah. What about just being
I just
within
noticed
that
one.
hover distance? Okay. yeah,
Within the hover
so-
distance, nothing's missing.
Okay, because with Warcoms, I haven't had an issue with going outside of the hover distance. Same with my Huions, but for my hand one Yuji, every single hand one Yuji I've tested has some sort of issues. But like, I don't know. When you're inside the hover distance and you like draw like that, it like you try to draw strokes as quickly as you can, but you have the pen within the hover distance. It doesn't really have issues as it seems.
There's
So like
when I'm
it's a
really
weird
far out
characteristic.
and bring it in, I'll lose like 1 out of 20 strokes.
Yeah, but like
Very
just
ex-
keep it within that hover distance for now,
Yeah, not losing any.
and then you shouldn't miss any strokes.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I don't know. It shouldn't like there shouldn't be any problems with let's say pressure scan rate, like Cube said. Although might just be characteristic to the first Xencelabs. You might need to retest that sometime.
yeah.
But yeah, that should be all for like all the testing I'd be interested in. Otherwise, like a bit of drawing is like what everyone else would like to usually see.
It's just like I'm so embarrassed to draw.
Oh yeah, I'm the same on stream. I only draw outside of like streaming.
I mean, I should just find some stupid thing to draw that I would feel comfortable drawing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's pretty hard.
I mean, something boring like trees or something. But people want to see all like some fantastical art. I'm like,
Yeah, that's
I don't-
usually
I
the
don't-
case. That's usually the case. Yeah.
I don't think I can deliver fantastical art. Just Apu memes, right?
Yeah, I can't do that either. I have to like actually bother to like take in some like random reference and like have to like actually bother about like doing it properly. Like I have to think about it and then do it, or else I can't like draw anything. It's pretty hard to draw.
I've gotten better at drawing peepos, not poos, though.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I feel like when it comes to actually testing drawing tablets, drawing isn't the best way. Like, okay, yes, it's gonna give you like a great overview on like, does it draw well? Am I gonna be able to draw with it without any big issues or anything
Yeah.
happening and like all that kind of stuff? Like, it really is just kind of the does it feel good, right?
Yeah. I've come to respect that it is actually kind of valuable for someone says, does it feel good?
It is very
Right.
valuable. It's probably like the most important thing. Like, I like, okay, for like the Deco Gen 2s, yeah. Those things are like technically terrible, right? But they actually don't feel terrible to draw on, right?
That's right.
So like
That's right.
I
They
go
feel
by the
okay.
feeling usually. If I'm
Yeah.
recommending a tablet, I usually like to go for feeling. But if I'm looking at an unknown tablet or something I've not tried before, I usually would like to look at the data before even like considering it.
Right. I guess the other thing I'm noticing here is like, we've mentioned this before. Tablets are just getting good, right?
Debatable.
I mean, I'm talking about tablets that are coming out now, right? They're
Yeah.
getting increasingly better, right?
Yeah, except for the re-releases. Some of the re-releases, like the Deco 640, they're literally
Okay,
just
fair,
the same thing.
fair
It's
point,
like-
fair point.
Start
But like the
just-
Canvas Pro 19,
Yeah, like the
XP
flagship.
10, yeah, the
flagship.
flagship ones are doing good, right? So I'm very happy with those. Okay, so I think we're good. I'm glad, I'm really glad I got a chance to do this on stream because I haven't really spent enough time with the Xencelabs tablets, you know?
Yeah. Ideally, I'd say try the UG tablet. Like, you
Yeah.
do have that UG sitting around.
Yes, I do have a display tablet somewhere.
Yeah,
I may have a
I think
pen tablet
it's
as well.
valuable to try that as well because UG, or at least to me, it seems like that they're using the older sort of digitizer compared to the
Mm-hmm.
newer one. Or at least all, even though like it's released in like what, like late 2023 or whatever, after the Gen 2 tablets, right? It seems like it's using the first gen digitizers for some weird reason. Or at least all the testing that I've done kind of hints at that. So
Yeah.
that would be interesting, considering they're the budget brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try to do the UG. I've got a couple of like the other brand, the Vike. I've got a Vike somewhere, right? A UG
Fake.
Vike,
Yeah.
which I have.
And
They've been in boxes for 2 years, and I've just never touched them.
Oh damn! In Chinese, they're called 会客, so
Say it
I
again.
mean, 会客, I think.
Huion. Okay.
So vague. I just call it vague because it's good enough.
And does it have a meaning?
I don't know. I like most of the tablet names are just kind of. I don't know what vague is meant to mean anyway. It might just
Okay.
be arbitrary, like Tianming, like 10 moons.
Okay.
Sort of
Didn't you tell me
arbitrary.
Huion had a good name?
Huion, so like king of drawing.
King of Drawing. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, and Hanwang is just like Hanwha and Yuji. I don't think that really has much of a meaning.
Okay. I just whenever I heard you say King of Paint, I was like, wow, what a just a great
Yeah, because
title.
Hui means like to draw,
Yeah.
and then Wang is like the king or emperor of something.
Got it. Oh, the Emperor of Drawing.
Yeah, it's funny. Like I do like that name. Honestly.
They could have gone hard with that in the U.S.
Yeah,
market.
but
right?
like they didn't, and they just called it Huion, and I'm like, this is boring.
They could have. Yeah. What is it? Xencelabs has a different name in China, right?
Matisse.
Matisse.
Yeah, Matisse.
And I like that, right?
Yeah,
Matisse
it's cool
is a good artist.
because like got the artist name.
Yeah.
I like it a lot as well.
Voidet's had a question. Do you have an Artisol? I'd have to. I don't think I have an Artisol tablet. How about you, Tabakitten?
No.
No.
But
Do we know
they're
who?
just on tablets? I'm not really.
Do we know who does the digitizer for Artisol? Like who they're? It's a Huion, right?
It's Huion.
Okay. I might
The
try an
same
Artisol.
digitizers as Huion.
I might try. an
Same,
Artisol.
same pen, same everything.
Got it. Okay, I think we're good for the stream. We went through a lot of stuff today, right?
Yep.
Okay, it was fun. It was good to do a collab stream again, and we got this time we did it through the Ecamm Live interview thing, which worked out I thought really good. Didn't you think so? Like it was easy to share stuff.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
easy to get the audio.
Surprisingly.
Yes,
And it's
yeah.
cross-platform because it's in the browser.
Yes, and just from my perspective, when you were sharing your screen, like I didn't notice anything weird. it seemed just as responsive and smooth as when I've done it, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And another thing I noticed was we didn't have any audio snafus,
Oh yes, that.
right? That was really nice. So this was
Yeah.
good because, like I said, I want to do another like interview style, maybe with Cube, maybe with, if I can get Brad Kolba or T.O. or something, right? Just to start getting some interactivity, because I know these streams are kind of fun when we have a good conversation, right? Okay, I think I'm going to wrap it up, folks. Thanks again, Tablet Kitten. This was a fun stream to do. Everyone, have a great night, and I'll be streaming soon, okay?
Yeah.
I'll see you.
See you guys.
Bye. And how do I end the stream?
I